and gentlemen, taking the field, it is the best mascot in the Atlantic League. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Swanson. Swanson is brought to you by AGB. AGB, here everything's better.
Welcome to Sugar Land, Texas. We're live at Constellation Field, home of the Atlantic League champion Sugar Land Skeeters, who come in with a tie for first, 13-10 on the season. They face the Barnstormers, who are also 13-10 and tied with the Skeeters atop the Freedom Division. The Skeeters are 6-3 on this homestand. They have lost 2 of 3, however, to the Barnstormers. Today is game number 24 of the season, home game number 17. Skeeters will send out right-hander Bobby Blevins, 1-0 with a 4.50 ERA against fellow righty Brad Bergerson, 2-0 with a 1.25 ERA. All 140 games can be heard right here on 1560 AM. Skeeters will try to win tonight, have a 7-3 homestand, and then have a day off and go to Somerset for 4 games in 3 days. Well, the national anthem is ready to begin, so we will duck out when we come back. The starting lineups on the first pitch. It is time to play ball. We return right here to Constellation Field in a moment.
All right, we have got an exciting young Skeeter band down on the field. Looks like this young lady is going to help us get the game.
Welcome back to Constellation Field. It is just about time to play ball, so let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Lancaster Barnstormers. Starting lineup brought to you by MemberSource Credit Union. Whether it's a Skeeters checking account, an auto loan, or a home loan, be sure to check out MemberSource's complete lineup at membersourcecu.org. Leading off is the speedy Darian Sanford. The switch hitter will be in center. Batting second and playing second is Garrett Weber. At first, batting third, Casey Hobson. The cleanup hitter is Sean Hulton. He'll be at third. The DH, Blake Galen, bats fifth. Lastings Miller's a former big leaguer in left, bats sixth. Trayvon Robinson will be in right field. He'll bat seventh. Kevin Aarons, the Houston product, bats eighth, and he'll be at short and batting ninth. Catcher Tyler Clark.
Defensively for the Skeeters, they will go with Benson in left, Miller in center, and Barfield, of course, in right. Third to first around the diamond, it's Nelson, Zawatsky, Prince, and Wilkins, with a battery of Cordero and the right-hander Bobby Blevins.
Blevins, 32 years old, 6 foot 200 pounds, originally from Syracuse, New York, selected in the 13th round by Los Angeles in 2007 from Lemoyne College in Syracuse, New York. Last year with the Ducks, just 2-12, a 5.51 ERA, but this year be making his second start, his 5th overall appearance, 1-0 with a 4.50 ERA. His first 3 appearances, just kind of the long man out of the bullpen. It is career, he is 20-30 with a 4.32 ERA, and signed with the Skeeters after playing 5 seasons with the Ducks. Well, in steps the speedy Darian Sanford, and a guy you have to keep off the base bats. He is tied for the league lead in stolen bases, the switch hitter. Bats here from the left side and comes in with a 3.38 average on the season.
Look where Nelson's playing at third base.
He's playing a little in. I think that's an understatement. A 338 average for Sanford is good for 5th in the league. He's ready to go. Both the corners in here. This one is a strike, 0-1, and we are underway. Game 4 of a 4-game series, also the final game of a 10-game homestand. Again, the Skeeters so far 6-3 on this homestand, but they have lost 2 of 3 here to the Barnstormers, and this one fouled at the plate, and quickly no balls and 2 strikes to count. Well, it takes the bunt away, but doesn't matter. He is still quick and still a slap hitter. Nelson will still play, and Wilkins will play back. The 0-2 high and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blevins really had a lot of success with the Ducks in his first 4 years. He was 14-10 with a 3.25 ERA before going 2-12 last year with a 5.51 ERA. This one hit down the left field line. Joe Benson is there. He'll grab it in fair territory right on the line down there near the corner, and there's a big first out. Well, Blevins total in 5 years with the Ducks 16-22 with a 3.90 ERA. Garrett Weber will step in. The second baseman comes in 3.21 with a home run and 8 RBIs for the right-handed hitting second baseman. First pitch here by Blevins. This one is a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count. The Barnstormers lead the series overall this season 4-2, and also neck and neck with these careers in franchise history for both squads. The Barnstormers lead the overall series in 6 years now, 52 wins, 51 losses. No balls and 2 strikes to count here on Weber. Blevins rocks, fires, and this one is low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Barnstormers a hitting machine. They have collected at least 8 hits in each of their last 19 games and have reached double digits in 13 of them. Like last night, they put up 13. The Skeeters put up 15. This one is slash foul in and out of the Skeeters dugout. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Barnstormers have batted .310 as a team over those 19 games, and .317 over the last 16 games.
Yeah, top to bottom, this lineup's pretty darn good. You can even rest a guy today in Gindel, tied for the league in RBIs, and still have a pretty potent lineup.
The 1-2. This one low and away, backhanded by Cordero. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Yeah, Blevins can get Weber here. Let's see if they go back outside. They will, and the 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? No. That'll run the count full 3-2. So Blevins, who was ahead 0-2, now behind 3 balls and 2 strikes. He's gone out 3 straight times. Will go out again. The payoff pitch, swung and tapped slowly to second. Prince has it. He'll fire it to first to get the speedy Weber. And there's out number 2 on the 4-3 putout. Well, that'll bring in the always difficult Casey Hobson. Hobson 360, 5 home runs, which is tied for 3rd in the league, and 13 RBIs. The 360 average is good for 3rd in the league as well, and he's amongst many other leading categories. He is 1st in on-base percentage at .455. Even tied for 1st in hit by pitches with 4. 4th in the league in slugging at .581. This one is a strike near the knees. No balls and 1 strike to count. Hobson 2nd in the league in hits with 31 and 1st in total bases as well with 50. This one swung and chopped foul at the plate. Hobson also, since joining the Barnstormers last year, has reached base in 62 of his last 65 games. He has hit safely in 20 of the 23 games so far this season. He's also hit in 8 straight games. No balls and 2 strikes. Blevins has been ahead of all 3 hitters to start this one. The 0-2. Swollen and chopped foul off of first. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. During this 8-game hitting streak, he's 11 for 29, a .379 average. 2 home runs, 5 RBIs for the former 6th-round pick of the Blue Jays in 2009 out of Stockdale High School in California. Been as high as AA New Hampshire from 2014 to 2016. This one swung and again hit towards second. Prince has this one, and he'll flip it to first, and that'll do it. Great job by Blevins. A quick inning, something the Skeeters starting pitchers needed. A fly out, 2 ground outs. Barnstormers do not skeet here in the first inning. Skeeters coming to bat for the first time when we return.
It's now time for the mascot race. On the field, we've got Jessica underneath contestants. Jessica, who you got with you?
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here on the first base side. Since it's family fun day, we're going to have the brother-sister edition of the mascot race. I've got Hannah and Jake, and they're ready to take on Swanson. All right, guys, take your place over at first base over there. There we go. All right, Swanson's over at second base. You ready, Swanson? All right. On your mark. Get set. Go. All right, and they are off running in sync. Hannah's a little bit in front, and Swanson's got a big lead today, Swanson. Keep going, guys. You want to chase after him? Let's go. Swanson, what are you doing over there? Oh, the diving thing's not till after the game. Don't try to cheat. Don't try to cheat. Come on, guys. You can finish the race. Beat him. He's distracted. Oh, and one of the coolest races. But I'm going to have to go with Hannah and Jake. You are the winners of the mascot race. You better luck next time, Swanson. Back out to you, Shane.
Alrighty, fans, this half inning is the Bud Light Thirst inning. Be sure to visit our concessions for a great selection of ice cold Budweiser beers. And just a friendly reminder, fans, the sale of alcohol does involve the pollution. Southern Betting is having a beer with friends. Friends with beer. Bud Light. It's one friends.
Welcome back to Constellation Field. Time to take a look at the starting lineup for your Sugarland Skeeters. Starting lineup brought to you by MemberSource Credit Union. Whether it's a Skeeters checking account, an auto loan, or a home loan, be sure to check out MemberSource's complete lineup at membersourcecu.org. Leading off is Josh Prince. He'll be at second. Lance Sawatsky at short, bat second. Batting third, Jeremy Barfield. He'll be in right. The cleanup hitter and DH Travis Scott. Chris Nelson at the hot corner. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, Andy Wilkins at first. In left, Joe Benson bat seventh. Albert Cordero, the switch hitting catcher, bats eighth, and batting ninth, center fielder Derek Miller.
Defensively, Millage, Stanford, Robinson in the outfield. Holton, Aarons, Weber, Hobson around the diamond, and Clark behind the hill, or behind the mound.
Somewhere on the mound.
So he's catching the guy on the mound, who's Brett Bergeson.
First pitch, a strike to Prince, who comes in at 257, 3 home runs and 16 RBIs. This one misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Prince last night 3 for 5 with 2 singles, a double, a run scored, and 2 RBIs. Comes in tied for third in the league in doubles now with 7, as number 7 fouls this one off. And he is fourth in the league in extra base hits with 10. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Prince. Prince is at his best. He's in long counts. Bergeson kicks and deals. This one is way outside, 2-2. Bergeson has been terrific. He has allowed just 3 earned runs in 3 starts. In fact, the last time I picked up the win went 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 Ks, 2 walks, 91 pitches, 61 for strikes. The 2-2 way outside and high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The start before that, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, and his first start, 6 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs. Payout pitch here to Prince. Swung and shot foul back and to the left of home, so number 7 will see a 7th pitch here. Let's see if Josh, the Skeeters catalyst, can get on here and get things started for the Skeeters. No score here, bottom of the first. Sugarland batting here for the first time. Prince 12 for his last 47, a 255 mark. This one on the inside corner, strike 3. He was already 3 steps down towards first. And Prince, who leads the league in strikeouts, adds to that now his 32nd of the year. That'll bring in Lance Sawatsky. Sawatsky, 193, 2 home runs, and 5 RBIs. And Lance trying to break out of that slump. Was 1 for 5 last night with a double, a run scored, and a stolen base. Big swing and a miss here. No balls and 1 strike here on Sawatsky. Bergeson, 31 years old, 6'2", 210 from Fairfield, California, a 4th-round pick of the Orioles in 2004. This one, an off-speed pitch, misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, no score here. Bottom of the first between the Skeeters and the Barnstormers in Game 4, the final game of a 4-game set. The 1-1. This one is high and outside, 2-1. Made 59 starts for the Orioles at the big league level from 2009 to 2011. 17-24 with a 4.68 ERA. This one misses inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Ready for the D-backs in the 2012 season. Was 2-1 with a 3.64 ERA. The 3-1. This one swung and missed. Lance tried to go down and chase that one, but it was low and away and fouls it off. That'll run the count to full 3-2. Zawadzki mentioned that slump, 8 for 51 in his last 12 games, a 157 mark. Former 4th-round pick of the Padres back in 2007. If Lance could get on here against his former squad. Ferguson taking his time out there, now winds and fires the payoff pitch. Swan had a bullet, and going up the ladders, the shortstop Kevin Aarons, the Houston product, brings down a would-be hit for out number 2.
Well, looked like it was by Aarons, able to make a leaping catch, leaning towards left field to Rob Zawadzki.
That'll bring in Jeremy Barfield. Barfield, 308, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. Barfield also trying to break out of a slide. He has just 3 for his last 28, a 107 mark. His previous 7 games, he was on fire, hitting 347, 17 for 49. First pitch here to Barfield, outside, 1 ball and no strikes to count. Barfield, that open stance from the right side, awaits the 1-0, and this one is fouled down the left side. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Barfield last night robbed of a hit himself in his first at-bat by third baseman Garrett Weber. He was 1 for 5 with a double and a run scored. The 1-1 coming here from Bergeson. This one fouled straight back into the net. Good cut by Barfield, now down 1-2. Barfield, a banner year last year we have talked about. Voted to the All-Star game, named an end-of-the-season All-Star. Led the Atlantic League in home runs with 27. And the Atlantic League Player of the Year. Helped the Skeeters win their first title. This one way inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. No score here. Bottom of the first. Ira Liebman, Brett Dolan, Andy Humphrey. Ferguson shakes off the first sign. Now he delivers a 2-2, and this one's swung a missed strike 3 on a ball low and away. So nifty job by Bergeson, gets a great play in the field, strikes out the other 2. Skeeters, much like the Barnstormers, go 3 up, 3 down here in the first. We are through 1, and it is scoreless.
Today we're taking tic-tac-toe up a notch, adding some dizzy back to it.
We move to the top of the second inning in a scoreless game. A big happy Mother's Day to everyone. Did you get your wife something for Mom's Day?
No.
Wow. I don't know if you want to leave this booth when this game is over then. It's going to be received very well. Did your son supposedly get his mom
my daughter
something?
takes care of a lot of that.
Your what?
Daughter.
Your daughter takes care of that for you?
Yeah.
Come on, Dolan.
That's her
Make
mother.
an effort. I just used to get in an argument with my mom about my grandmother. Get your grandmother a present. No, she's your mom.
That's correct.
You're my mom.
Correct.
That's why there's a Grandparents' Day. This one is swung and a miss. Strike one. No balls and one strike to count. I got my grandmother something on Grandparents' Day. Not quite as celebrated as Mother's and Father's Day. John Halton, Blake Galen, Lastings Millage meet of the order here, 4, 5, and 6. And Halton swings and misses through this one again. And again, Blevins ahead 0-2. And he was ahead 0-2 in all of the first three batters in the first. Blevins rocks and deals. Cordero wants it high and outside, and he gets it high, but not quite outside. And it is hit hard foul down the right side. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Take a look at the arsenal here on Blevins. Each is 5 pitches: a fastball, a change, a curve, a cutter, and a sinker. The 0-2 swung and a missed, strike 3 as Halton chases a ball low and away. First K of the day, and there's one away. So Dolan, what'd you do yesterday? We missed you.
Yeah, felt weird not being out here. I picked up my son from umpiring, got him to his kids.
He's umpiring now?
He's an umpire.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's certified umpire. And then we went to
he's
the.
still playing. Is he planning on retiring at age 16?
Well, no, but someone has to have cash flow in my household, and that would be him.
That's true.
A little kids versus coaches game last night, so that was my day away from baseball. Full day of baseball.
This one is inside, 1 ball and no strikes, and Galen kind of jumped out of the way, and I think that actually the home plate umpire called it a ball when it was probably a strike. I think that's what Cordero turned around and was talking about. He kind of got handcuffed on the pitch. 1 ball and no strikes to count here to Galen. 317, a home run and 9 RBIs for the left-hander hitting DH. This one off the outside corner, 2 balls and no strikes to count. No score here, top of the second. The 2-0. Swan hit high in the air to right field. Barfield has it measured, though. And he'll bring it down for the first out. 5 up, 5 down so far for Blevins. Great start. And Brett, let's talk about starting pitching here. The Skeeters really need a good outing here from Blevins. They got 5 1/3 yesterday from Marshall, but he allowed, 5 2/3, but he allowed 10 earned runs the day before. Nix only goes 2 innings, and with a doubleheader coming up on Wednesday, the Skeeters really need to get some good starting pitchers. In fact, starting pitching this year just 8-9 as a record, 5.49 ERA. The bullpen's still been pretty good, 5-1, a 3.18 ERA, but how long before they tucker out?
That's a 1.5 difference between starters and relievers, and obviously it should be pretty easy to see that starter's ERA go down, but you'd rather see it sooner than later.
And how concerned are you right now with the starters not going far? Right now, Barfield's in a slump, Zawadzki's in a slump, Jansanti's out of the lineup, so that's not good for your offense either, despite them getting 9 yesterday.
Yeah, it does hurt not having Jansanti in there. He was kind of kick-starting things while some others were in a bit of a lull. But they're facing a pretty good team, too, the more I see these Barnstormers.
They are good. Hot shot down the third base line. Backhanded behind the third base back for Nelson. The toss across in time. What a play by Nelson. Second straight 3 up, 3 down inning thanks to a defensive gem by the Skeeters third baseman. Middle of the second, there's still no score.
Jose White, Ryan, new used cars, Kansas City, service electrical parts and savings. Dealership conveniently located in Roseville.
We move to the bottom of the second inning. Travis Scott will lead it off. He'll be followed by Chris Nelson and Andy Wilkins, 4, 5, and 6. And these guys have really been the hottest hitters in the Skeeters lineup right now. Scott alone riding a 9-game hitting streak for Travis. We'll see if he can jumpstart the Skeeters here. No score here as we move to the bottom of the second. Scott 329, 2 home runs and 11 RBIs for Travis. During his 9-game hitting streak, he has 13 for 29, a 448 average. He is just red hot right now. First pitch high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Also 7 runs scored during that span. And he was in a slump before the streak. In the previous 5 games, he was just 3 for 20, a 150 mark. So he's really found the right stroke. Ground ball to the first baseman, Hobson. He'll grab the ground hugger and touch first for out number 1. That'll bring in Chris Nelson, who just made that great play at third. Nelson 250, 2 home runs and 10 RBIs. Nelson also hitting very well. He has hit in 12 of his last 13 games, going 16 for 52 for a 308 average. Lynn Sims, the former big leaguer. First pitch here to Nelson is a little bit low and in. Ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. No score here in the bottom of the second. Wind blowing in from right center slightly. There's one, a big swing and a miss on a ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Ferguson gets the sign. If they go back outside, they do. And this one is just off the outside corner, 2-1. Currently 85 degrees here in Sugar Land. 45% humidity. And a wind of just 6 miles an hour. The 2-1, this one a strike on the outside corner. 10 miles of visibility in case you wanted to see something 10 miles away with that supervision of yours.
I climb up that crane, I can see for a long ways.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count. So you're reconsidering doing it? Is that what you're saying?
There might be quite a view.
The 2-2, little blooper. That'll fall into right center field over second baseman Garrett Weber's head. That is the first hit of the ballgame for either squad. As Nelson continues his hot hitting. He's now hit in 13 of his last 14 games.
First base runner, for that matter.
It's true. So 1 on and 1 out for Andy Wilkins, who has also been hitting very well. 7 for his last 20, a 350 average over his last 6 games. Overall, 258, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. Wilkins last night in a pinch hit role was 1 for 2 with a run scored. This one a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count here to Wilkins. Former big leaguer, spent time with the White Sox and the Brewers at the big league level. Now in his 7th season as a pro. They set up away. Big swing and a miss by Wilkins. No balls and 2 strikes to count. No score here, bottom of the second. Skeeters trying to strike first. Ferguson looks in. Let's see where Clark, the catcher, sets up. He'll set up high and inside, and that one just misses, not by much. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count.
Well, it was awfully close. I don't think that's where he wanted his 0-2 pitch to be. Skeeters are 6-1 when they score first. When the opponent scores first, they are 8-9, so quite a big of a difference. The 1-2. This one high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on. No score here, bottom of the second. Beautiful day here at Constellation Field on Mother's Day. The 2-2. Outside, that'll run the count full 3-2. To try a hit and run here. No.
Would you like to elaborate? Brett Dolan, man of few words. Straight into the point. There goes Nelson. I always thought there's something there. Mr. Emphatic, no. So we'll do the 3-2 again.
my thought was Nelson has 1 stolen base all year. Ferguson's got pretty good stuff, so that would mean might have a possibility of a strikeout. He K2 in the first inning. You get a strikeout, you're probably going to get a throw him out.
Pitch number 7 coming here to Wilkins, who's really had some good at-bats in the last few games. There goes Nelson again. Strike 2.
He's getting a good jump. Ferguson's not paying a lot of attention to him. That helps.
Well, Nelson in his younger days would steal 25 to 30 bases. Let's see the last time he's done that. Maybe another 3-2 coming here. Again, the 3-2. This one way inside. Ball 4. So now first and second and 1 out for Joe Benson. First free pass issued by Bergeson. Let's go back to that thought on Nelson and see the last time that he has stolen a few bases. It's been a while. He's only stolen, let's see, 6 bases since 2013. So in steps Benson, 221, no home runs and 6 RBIs for the Skeeters right-handed hitting left fielder. And he takes the first pitch for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Benson, last 2 games, might be starting to come out of that slump. 3 for 7. That's a .428 average over just those 2 games. And in his previous 11 games, he was just 6 for 39, hitting 154 during that span. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on, bottom of the second. No score in this one. Pretty big swing on this homestand. If you lose, you're 6-4, which is still decent. But if you win, 7-3, and that's a pretty good homestand.
Yeah, especially the way things started in that 6-game series to begin things.
Yep, 5 of 6 from the Bees. 1 swung and missed, so Benson goes down here. 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Bergeson. Now 2 on with 2 out for Albert Cordero. Switch hitting Cordero will bat here from the left side against the right-hander Bergeson. Cordero, 375, a home run, and 3 RBIs. He's gotten off to a great start with the Skeeters. 6 for 16 to begin the 2017 campaign. Drafted out of Venezuela and was signed by the Mets. Got as high as AA Binghamton in 2015. First pitch here to Cordero is a strike just above the waist, and Cordero turns around to say, my guy didn't get that one.
He's given a couple of those, a little bit up and a little bit out, but called him a strike, especially early in the count, which has given Bergeson that initial advantage.
The 0-1 here from Bergeson. They set up inside, and this one is a strike on the inside corner. Another high strike called, 0-2. I just thought about this, but some recycling. I see Cordero with his pink bat from Pink in the Park night the other night, breast cancer awareness, and he can carry right over here to Mother's Day.
Sure can. Make it a whole weekend.
The 0-2, high and tight, 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Talk about repurposing. The SL behind home plate still in pink, so also good for Mother's Day. The pink ribbon still there for Pink in the Park. Long luck in here from Bergeson. I'll set up inside again. This one is punched foul. Just to the left and behind the plate, 1-2. Cordero hanging tough here, 1-2 on number 3, Albert Cordero. 2 on, 2 out. Nelson leads off of second. Wilkins off of first. No score here in the bottom of the second. Skeeters trying to strike first here with 2 down. The 1-2. Swung and foul back into our left over our heads. Count remains 1-2. Pretty good at bat here by Cordero down in the count. The Mothers got roses coming into the ballpark today. Some of the players were at the front gates handing the moms roses. Nice touch. The 1-2. Swung and chopped towards short. Aaron charges it. He'll take it himself to second just in time. A little too nonchalant. Well, that will be out. Number 3, 6 unassisted. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left on base. We are through 2. It is still scoreless between the Barnstormers and the Skeeters.
Alrighty, fans, on top of the Skeeters dugout, we got a Skeeter fan getting ready to work on their short game with the golf chipping challenge brought to you by Sugar Creek Country Club. Jessica's on top of the dugout with today's contestant. All right, Jessica, who do you have with you this afternoon?
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Patrick on top of the Skeeters dugout. He's ready to take on the golf chipping challenge. You see that pool out there with the flag, Patrick? We've got 6 chances to get the ball into that pool. Take it away. Alrighty, a little bit to the left there. Going with the balance method, just a little bit more force than we're looking for. We still got a couple more, fans. This is tough. Let's make some noise. Cheer 'em on. Oh, that one was a little bit closer. No one saw that one. It's okay. Well, nice try. Congratulations, thank you for playing the golf chipping challenge brought to you by Sugar Creek Country Club. Back up to you, Shane.
Creek Country Club is now one of the hardest Sugar Land with 27 holes of golf are newly renovated and been a trademark since club opened in 1972. Sugar Creek also has 8 tennis courts, family style home and fitness centers. Clubhouse provides casual and
Well, if you missed Molly and the Ringwalds last night, have a chance to see another 80s band coming here to Constellation Field on June 9th. Spend some time with the Skeeters to hear a performance from the country's most popular 80s cover band. Be sure to join us on Friday, June 9th for some exciting post-game entertainment from the Spasmatics. Call 281-240-HITS or log on to sugarlandskeeters.com. On Trayvon Robinson, Kevin Aarons, and Tyler Clark here, bottom of the order here in the top of the third against Blevins. Ferguson has been very good. He has pitched at just 2 over the minimum, allowed just 1 hit, but Blevins has been that much better, 6 up and 6 down so far. No score here, top of the third. 1-0 the count to the switch hitting Trayvon Robinson, batting here from the left side. The right-hander Blevins kicks and fires the 1-0. Swung and belted out to center field. Going back is Miller, and he'll grab it over his left shoulder for out number 1. That was a bullet hit by Robinson, but Miller right there. 7 up, 7 down now for Blevins. Instead, Houston's own Kevin Aarons for the Barnstormers. The shortstop, 303, 3 home runs and 17 RBIs. Mentioned the RBIs that the Barnstormers are racking up. Well, the Barnstormers have 3 of the top 6 in the Atlantic League. Caleb Gindel, Halton, and Aarons, as this one is hit into center field for a base hit. So the first hit of the game, that also breaks the string up of 7 straight retired to start this one by Blevins. So 1 on and 1 out for another switch hitter in Tyler Clark. The backup catcher just 0-59, no home runs, 2 RBIs. He is just 1 for 17 in 6 games so far this season. Is it me or catcher just getting taller and taller? Clark is 6'5". You're talking Joe Mauer size out there.
Yeah, he's a slender guy.
So the complete opposite in the last series. Skelton, who is a $165. This one a strike on the outside corner. Guess there is no Pudge type catchers anymore. You have Skelton, who's a great on base percentage guy, a catcher with very good speed, and a guy who weighs 165 pounds. And you have the opposite here in Clark, who is 6'5". Up to the 5'8" to 5'10" Johnny Benches, Yogi Berra, Von Rodriguez types.
I'd say they're still out there, but the mold is kind of broken. You see in shortstops now they're 6'3", 6'4". Didn't normally see that.
The 0-2 high and outside, 1 and 2. So much for shortstops. They're tall stops.
Well done.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. No score here, top of the third. a long look in, peeks over his left shoulder at Aarons. Aarons with a decent lead down there. Levin still holds, and he's going to throw to first, and Aarons will dive back in head first. Aarons on this season, 1 stolen base. He has not been caught. This Barnstormers team, granted with Darian Sanford, who has stolen 15 bases, but they've still stolen 34. They've hit 26 home runs. That's quite a good blend of power and speed. Ground ball to second. See if they can get 2. They go to second for 1. The relay to first. Not in time. That'll go down as a fielder's choice. 4-6. Aaron's erased. Clark in at first. Another guy with decent speed. For a guy who's 6'5" and a catcher, he got down the line pretty good.
Big strides. Wasn't your prototypical double play ball. Prince had to get to his left and spin and throw back across his body, but they did get the lead runner, and if nothing else, you clog up the bases a bit for this guy.
You think a tall guy with big strides is necessarily fast or a little bit slower? First pitch here is a little high to Darian Sanford with Chris Nelson in at third with the speedy center fielder at the plate.
You see both. I mean, I think sometimes though you see a guy that doesn't look fast that can get down the line with the big strides just because he's covering more ground.
And there goes Clark. The throw down to second is in time. Proving once again crime doesn't pay. So the caught stealing here. The Skeeters have now thrown out 10 of 26. So a very unconventional 3 up, 3 down inning. A line out to center, a single, a force out, and now the caught stealing. We are 2.5 into this game. It is scoreless still between the Skeeters and the Barnstormers.
Grab your spoon right after the game. You're going to get a chance to dig for the diamond. That's in the diamond. That's right. Somewhere in that dirt is a beautiful diamond.
Well, we move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Pretty good pitching duel so far between Brad Bergeson for the Barnstormers, who's back atop the bump, and the Skeeters' own Bobby Blevins. Here for the Skeeters in the bottom of the 3rd, it'll be 9-1-2. Derek Miller, Josh Prince, and Lance Zawatsky. Little special thing we're doing here at the ballpark for the moms, having some mimosas upstairs. Our own bartender Gina is serving them up. Mimosas. You're a mimosa guy? With brunch? You're high society. I mean, you get chauffeured here every day.
High society.
Pinky out, and you're a little mimosa. Little guy saying, "Yes, Mr. Dolan." "Sure, Mr. Dolan. Anything you need, Mr. Dolan."
You couldn't be more wrong if you tried.
This one chopped just foul down 3rd. That was close. No balls and 1 strike to count. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for both teams. Ira Liebman, Brett Dolan, Andy Humphrey later, and of course Nathan Werner back in the studio. Derek Miller just missed a double. He's got the pink armbands on and the pink bat for Mother's Day. The 0-1 is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. I know his mom Joy is here in the house. Ferguson gets the sign here. Let's see where Clark goes. Tyler Clark going to set up outside. This one low and away, back ended by Clark. When somebody yells, what movie do you think of when somebody yells, Clark?
Well, the Griswolds.
There you go. The 2-1. This one is slammed into center field, but a low sinking line drive is going to be brought down. I thought that was going to travel a little further, but just kind of died out there. That's the first out, a line out to center. Back to the top of the order with Josh Prince. Prince struck out looking his first time up, thought he had ball 4. Came in 257, 3 home runs, and 16 RBIs. Maybe we'll start trying going away from college trivia places with Stump Dull into movie trivia.
You would stump me pretty often.
Really?
Yep.
Not a movie buff?
No.
So what is your area of expertise? If we put you on Jeopardy and there's only one category outside of sports.
I think history or geography, you'd probably have a pretty good shot.
Okay, well, I'll give you the geography part with all the colleges you seem to
You know, my American history, I'd probably take my cracks.
The 1-0. There's one. A fastball just misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. What's your big stumper? What category do you not want as Final Jeopardy? This one misses. 3 balls and no strikes. I see you reading a lot. Science?
Yeah.
They blinded you with science, huh? This one inside, ball 4. So Prince gets the walk this time. And with the score at 0-0. Perhaps he will swipe a bag here. And Zawadzki will step in. He was robbed on a great play by shortstop Kevin Aarons his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Take a look around the Atlantic League scoreboard here. Some double-header action with some rain on the East Coast this week. York beats Bridgeport in Game 1, 3-1. Southern Maryland. Actually, that one's a final now. They beat the Somerset Patriots 7-3. The Ducks are winning 3-1 over New Britain. That is the game 1 of a doubleheader in the bottom of the 7th. The other game later. And in game 2 between Southern Maryland and Somerset, that game top of the 1st, no score. Here it is scoreless as well in the bottom of the 3rd. This one misses outside, 2-0. That is now 6 straight balls for Ferguson.
They play 2 7-inning games?
Yes. Although the day-night games, which we will have here on the next homestand and on the road trip when we go to Somerset, are 7 and then a 9.
Okay.
I think they should reverse that, to be honest. Get the 9 out of the way first. Kind of tired for game 2 several hours later. This one low it in. They're in college. Saturday and Sunday back-to-back doubleheaders. It's the same catcher would catch all 4 games. I don't know how he did it. Three balls and no strikes. 7 straight balls to start the inning here for Ferguson. And finally gets a strike here.
Sure, with the day-night doubleheaders they like for the fans that can't come during the day, at least they know they're going to get a 9-inning game. For the normal time, evening game.
I guess there's some pretty good logic there. There goes Prince. Swung and belted out to right center field. This one's going to split the gap and roll to the wall. Prince is going to score easily. Zawadzki is going to turn it on, but he's going to stop at second. And the Skeeters take a 1-0 lead. 6th RBI of the season for Zawadzki. He puts the Skeeters in front here. That'll get Lance going. That is also his 4th double of the season.
Prince was running with the pitch, and he put his head down. He did not think Sanford was going to get there for a second. I thought maybe the speedy center fielder was going to track it down. Skeeters caught a break when that ball hit the warning track and bounced up, hit the top of the fence, but stayed in play, so Prince could score.
Talk about leadoff walks. It was come back to haunt you, and it did right here. See if Barfield can keep it going here. With 1 down and a runner at second, Barfield struck out his first time up. First pitch to Jeremy, swung and a foul straight back. Barfield didn't miss that one by much. No balls and 1 strike to count. Barfield comes in 308, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. He is second in the league with 48 total bases, 4th in the league with 28 hits, and he is tied for first with 16 runs scored. The 0-1 here by Bergeson. Swung and chopped foul back into the left of home, and now Barfield down, no balls and 2 strikes, but 2 pretty good cuts. Skeeters leading 1-0 on a Lance Sawatsky RBI double. A lot of room in the right field corner for Barfield. Goes the other way pretty well too. They set up way outside and a spin towards second. Sawatsky dives back in head first, but there was nobody covering.
Even though Bergeson missed on 7 straight this inning, he's a strike thrower. Now here's a case where it's 0-2 to Barfield. You really don't want to be close because of his play coverage. I'll be curious to see where he puts this pitch.
The 0-2 way outside and hit slowly to the right side. Hobson grabs it. He'll step on first, and that's the second out. However, Sawatsky moves down to third. A wild pitch. A pass ball can get another run here as Travis Scott comes in. Scott 0 for 1, trying to extend his hitting streak to 10 games. Comes in 329, 2 home runs, and 11 RBIs for Travis. .329 average, good for 7th in the league. So in steps the Skeeters, left-handed hitting DH. Let's see if he can make it 10 straight here and get another run plated. First pitch is high. Fastball misses upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes again. Skeeters leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Travis started this homestand batting .271. He's jumped it up to .329 in the 10 days.
The last pitch was pitch number 60 for Bergeson. 33 for strikes, 27 for balls. This one misses outside, 2-0. Chris Nelson, who singled his first time up, is on deck, so Bergeson can't really pitch around Scott here. This one misses low and away, 3-0. Bergeson's had a tough inning here. The line drive bullet by Miller was hit extremely hard, then he walked Prince. Double to Sawatsky, got Barfield the ground out. Now down 3-0 here to Scott. Ball 4. Second walk of the inning, 3rd of the game. Runners on the corners, 2 on, 2 out for Chris Nelson. Nelson singled this first time up. He's 1 for 1. Came in batting .250 with 2 home runs and 10 RBIs. And Nelson has now hit in 13 of his last 14 games and going to get a visit to the mound here. I don't think this is going to be anything more than a quick chat. Bergeson now 63 pitches here in the 3rd. That is an awful lot. 33 for strikes, 30 for balls. Now the Skeeters have tomorrow off, then they head out on the road for 4 days and 4 games in 3 days. Then they come back home to Constellation Field on Friday, May 20th, a fireworks night. Then on the 20th, a doubleheader. Team jersey giveaway. Sponsored by Texas Direct Auto in Game 2. And a Sunday Fun Day, the jersey auction and umbrella giveaway by Constellation Energy. Margarita Monday on Monday and Dollar Dog Night. Another doubleheader on the 23rd. Baseball and Education Day. So Nelson will step in here with 2 on and 2 out, and the Skeeters already leading 1-0 with a run in here in the 3rd. This one is down low. 1 ball and no strikes to Nelson. Bergeson continues to struggle. Started the inning off with 7 straight balls. He has walked 2 batters. Little 1-0. Strike on the outside corner. Fastball just nicked the outside portion of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 run on 2 hits for Sugar Land. No runs on 1 for the Barnstormers. Bergeson's 1-1. Swollen and blooped behind second. Will it fall? Yes, another run will score. as Zawadzki comes home. An RBI single for Nelson, his 11th of the year, and the Skeeters take a 2-0 lead.
First baseman number 35.
I think Nelson's hit the exact same ball 2 times in a row, but it's worked.
Skeeters getting to Bergeson here in the third. They're leading 2-0 as Andy Wilkins steps in. The left-hand hitting first baseman walked his time up. One of those 3 free passes. 258, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs overall for Wilkins. Former 25th round pick of the Rangers in 2007. Swung a jam shot into shallow center. This could be trouble. Coming in is Sanford, and he'll come in just behind second for the final out. But the Skeeters scored twice. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. A third of the way through, it is now the Skeeters in front, 2-0.
Hi, Skeeters fans, it is now time for the Team Usual Power Sports 59 ATV Giveaway Challenge. 2 lucky contestants have been selected to try for a chance to win this beautiful 2017 Ranger ATV. All you gotta do is throw a frisbee through the hula hoop. And you'll come back to the final game of the season for a chance to take that bad boy home. All right, contestant number 1, let's see what we got for you here. Tailing on that, let's see. All right, contestant 2. Oh man, right there. All right. One more, here we go. Oh man, I tell you what. Hey, let's give it up for these contestants here this afternoon. Team Usual Power Sports 59 ATV giveaway. If you're looking for fun on 2, 3, or 4 wheels, check out Team Usual Power Sports 59 lineup with London, Polaris, Gideon, Norris, Slingshot, Home Moto Rim. Located on Highway 59 just inside Beltway. Stop in to Team Usual Power Sports today or visit on the web. TMP59.com. And of course, the game is brought to you by Cleaner Ticket Convenience Tax Department Trade Specs. We'd like to remind you to bundle up those emails at all times. Visit TexasCleanerTicket.com for information.
Move to the top of the 4th, and to keep this one rolling is Brett Dolan. Brett.
Darian Sanford swings to the first one, fouls it back up above our heads. Disparity Club. Sanford flied out to left, right on the chalk to Benson to begin the game. 5th leading hitter in the league. Nelson way in at 3rd, guarding against the bunt. There's another foul ball back to our left.
Levin's very good coming into this inning. Almost a 2-to-1 strike to ball ratio. 24 for strikes, 11 for balls.
Well, he's given up 1 hit. He faced the minimum through 3 innings. Sanford slaps another one to left, but Benson was playing shallow. A couple of steps back now in to make the one-handed catch.
You think as Sanford plays here in the Atlantic League, this is not the Pacific Association with a lot of veterans from AA to the majors, that they're going to kind of figure out how to play him both on the infield and the outfield, and veteran pitchers keeping him a lot closer, and maybe even the infielders, and maybe slow down his role a little?
I think you've seen a little bit of that as Garrett Weber steps in. Certainly the infielders playing even more shallow, trying to take away the bunt. I guess my advice to him would be, as Weber takes one down and out, go ahead and try and hit it on the ground. If they're going to play that far in and dare you to hit the ball by him, try and do so, because the reaction time's not very good when you're playing 80 feet from home plate. Instead of a fly ball to left field, which he's done twice, here's a fly ball to center. It's sending Miller back almost to the track. And center, he'll haul it in off the bat of Weber, and there's 2 outs.
Now, Blevins has done a great job at these top 3 hitters, which are very difficult in Sanford, Weber, and Hobson, and even Halton and Galen.
Here's Hobson.
The top 6 hitters are 0 for 8 against him.
You compare that to last night, where all 18 starters in the game had at least 1 hit. A run scored from 17 of the 18 different spots in the batting lineup. As Hobson swings and lifts one in the air to left. Drifting over is Nelson. Is he going to have a play? Yes, in foul territory. Near that section that juts out. Just like that, the inning is over. Couple of fly balls and a pop-up. 3.5 complete. It remains a 2-0 Skeeters lead. The top of the fourth was over at a blink of an eye. We come to the bottom of the frame. Skeeters batting, leading 2-0 over the Barnstormers.
The top of the fourth over already?
Bam, done. Brad Bergeson, after a kind of a lengthy third in which he gave up both runs in the game so far, is back out there to face Benson, Cordero, and Miller. Just the fact that Bergeson has given up a couple of runs is newsworthy. 1 run in 8 innings and 3 hits in his last start. First pitch strike, fastball over the outside corner. He's not given up more than 2 runs in any of his 3 starts. And for that matter, he had a no-hitter through 5 1/3 innings in one of those appearances against Bridgeport. The pitch to Benson. He lifts one off the end of the bat. Down the right field side. Robinson drifting, still in fair territory on the chalk. Will make the catch in foul territory, but he gets Benson for out number 1.
It's been a little feast and famine on this homestand for the Skeeters. They've hit very well, 295. Their ERA so-so at 407. But here comes the kind of good and bad of it. They have scored 48 runs. They have allowed 40 runs.
Here's Albert Cordero. And again, the difference today, if they win, it's a 7-3 homestand. A loss is a 6-4 homestand as Cordero waves and misses. They started this with a 6-game series, though, against New Britain, in which they won 5 games. In the game they lost, they were down 6-0, came back to tie, forced extras before they lost. And this is the man Cordero who homered to tie it with 2 outs in the 9th as he fouls one back to the netting. Outfield and infield straight away against Cordero, batting lefty. Grounded as short as last time in. He bends back out of the way of a high and tight pitch. And it's 1-2. Skeeters tie with these Barnstormers. First place in the Freedom Division, both 13-10. There's a check swing. Did he offer? They're going to say Cordero wrapped that bat too far through his pink bat, so that's a strikeout. And there's 2 outs. 4 Ks for Brad Bergeson.
Did you think he went around there?
I didn't think so, but boy, for Ken Leventhal not to appeal, must have felt confident. Cordero didn't argue, but to me it didn't look like it. Here's Derek Miller, flying up to center. His only time in. Bergeson quickly rolls one in there for a strike. Base is empty, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th inning. Bergeson would like an inning to kind of get him back with the normal pitch count. He misses there to Miller outside after running up the count a bit in the 3rd. He'd like a quick 4th inning. This next one on the way to Miller is lifted towards shallow right. Out goes Weber. In comes Robinson. Robinson now has to back up. He makes a two-handed catch in fair territory. 6 up, 6 down in about 6 minutes for the 4th inning. We cruise to the 5th. Skeeters 2, Barnstormers nothing.
Alrighty, fans, down on the first base side of the field, please welcome the best mascot in the Atlantic League. It is Watson, brought to you by AGB. Now, fans, today, Watson is going to be taking on these two bombs down on the field for a little bit of a dance-off here. We're going to test Swanson's skills, and then we're going to see these mothers show off their mad dancing skills on the field. Alright, here we go. Swanson, you're up. Let's dance off. Here we go. All right, moms, let's see what you got. Wow, I think it's obvious who's got this dance-off competition. It's going to the moms. Very well done, ladies. Great job. And a happy Mother's Day to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we do know that the best mascot is and always will be in the Atlantic League, Swanson. On behalf of the Sugarland Skeeters and Constellation Field, we thank you in advance for all of your support. Constellation
Field home Skeeters powered by Constellation Energy.
2 runs on 3 hits for the Skeeters. No runs on 1 hit for the Barnstormers as this game goes into the 5th inning. Base hit was the single by Kevin Aarons in the 3rd for the Barnstormers. But a fielder's choice and a caught stealing, and Bubby Blevins has faced the minimum. Good test this inning. Halton, Galen, and Millage. 4, 5, and 6. Halton leads the league in homers and RBIs, 7 and 21 respectively. First pitch is down and out for a ball. I mean, as a team, they're almost hitting 300, are the Barnstormers. Top 5 or 6 hitters in their lineup post some impressive numbers. That one's in there for a strike. 338, 321, 360. Halton's only 266, but again, he's leading the league in homers and RBIs. 317, 288 to follow. You have Aarons batting 8th at 303, and Gindel tied for the league in RBIs, not in the lineup today as Halton takes ball 2, down and out. Blevins winds and pitches. There's a smash. It got a portion, I think, of the knee of Blevins. Ricochets in the foul territory. Picked up by Wilkins. He steps on the bag, and he just did get Halton.
That was a great play. I mean, that was some right turn off of Blevins. It ricocheted all the way to the right of first and kept going into foul territory. Then Wilkins had to grab it in one swoop, stop his momentum, come back from foul territory to fair, and beat Halton to the bag. Great play.
Did that get any of the glove of Blevins, or did that get all thigh?
That was all thigh.
Gary Gaetti, the trainer, quickly out there just as the play ended. Blevins waved him off, but it's one of those where even if he waves you off, you're still going to come out, just give him a blow and see if he's all right. Rafi Montalvo, the pitching coach, also out there.
You usually see a guy limping. He wasn't limping at all. They're just going to make sure here as he kind of puts some pressure on it, throws a couple of warm-up pitches. And looks like he's okay. One pitch and he says, I'm fine.
That was smoked pretty good, though, and it just shows you how tough it is just to get that glove up sometimes. I mean, if it's at your feet and it's hit so hard, sometimes you can't bend over, but you're talking about your glove's pretty much middle of your body, and that ball hits below your belt on the thigh, and you still can't cover that foot or so because that ball hit right back at him and hard. Skeeters brass satisfied. Blevins is okay, and Blake Galen will bat with the bases empty and 1 out. First pitch to Galen, misses for a ball. Listed at 5'8", 180 pounds. California native. Levin's next pitch is rocketed foul down the left field side up in there in the picnic area, ricocheting around some of the tables.
Levin just 45 pitches here in the fifth, 30 of them for strikes.
Real big leg kick and then misses down and out. Kind of hovers that leg in the air, but he does get some elevation on that front leg. And that's the one that took the shot on the thigh. Next pitch, ground ball, shot right to short. So Watzke as it rolls up his glove a bit, but he's able to collect, throw out Galen, and there's 2 gone. That's 6 straight set down by Blevins.
Left field number 5, Lastings Millage.
Lastings Millage hitting to the plate. He bounced out to Nelson, who made a pretty good play at third base back in the second.
One of 3 first-round picks on this team. Kevin Aarons and Moskos.
It feels like they have a high number of former first-rounders. Big slow breaking ball bends down and out and misses.
The Skeeters have 2 of their own in Kyle Drabeck and Chris Nelson.
There's a smash foul wide at third base.
Talking about 5 first-round picks in this game.
Couple of ground outs here in the top of the fifth. Skeeters leading 2-0. The pitch to Millage is low, 2-1. '85-degree afternoon with plenty of sunshine here at the ballpark in Sugar Land. 2-1 curve and a beauty. Wave it a miss. Both in its break and its slow pace. At Millage way out in front. Blevins has been able to get a lot of outs and quick outs, just 1 strikeout so far. And he almost had his second, just missed a fastball off that outside corner. He had started for the dugout, but instead the count has gone full. Blevins with a payoff, swinging a foul, got a piece of Cordero and ricocheted away.
Millage spent the last, 4 previous years before last year in the Japanese League. In his first year there, he did very well. He had 321 home runs, 65 RBIs in 125 games, and he had 16 and 49 his second season, but really the third and fourth did not play that much, 10 games and 24 games. May have been hurt.
It's entirely possible. It's a big first year. Millage lifts one off his hands to the left. It's going to hang up there for Benson to drift in. Still drifting on, makes the catch. Inning over. 7 straight set down by Blevins. We're halfway done on a Sunday afternoon. Skeeters lead the Barnstormers 2-0.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Anna, and she is ready for
Skeeters looking to add to their 2-0 advantage over Lancaster. They will send up the top of the lineup here in the bottom of the 5th. Prince, Sawatsky, and Barfield. Prince struck out in the first, walked and scored the game's first run in his last at-bat. Prince came in leading the league in at-bats, and it wasn't close by a pretty wide margin, 8 or 9. He's had 102 at-bats this year. He'll get another. Swings and drives this one to left. This ball's starting to travel back near the fence. It's off the base of the wall, and it kicks away from Millage back to the infield, and Prince will have a double.
I think Millage actually raced back too far, and then it kind of over-pursued it. It hit the very base of the wall. He had already beaten it there.
Shortstop number 14, and Zawatsky.
Prince ambushes the first pitch from Bergeson here in the 5th inning and brings up Zawatsky, who ripped a double to right center to drive in Prince back in the 3rd inning.
Well, Prince is team leading 8th double of the season. Also moves him up the charts into sole possession of 2nd place in the Atlantic League in doubles. Correction, tied for 2nd in doubles with 8 now.
Zawatsky shows bunt, pops one way up. It's back over the screen into the seats. I'm guessing that's a case where Zawatsky tried to surprise Weber and Hobson by pulling a bunt up the first base side.
Could try it again here. Right side of the infield is still very deep.
Might get a breaking ball this time. Nope, he got a fastball, but it's on the outside corner. Lance disagrees. And it's 0-2. Bergeson, a long look at Prince. Pitches to Zawatsky. There's the breaking ball, and there's a swing and a miss. So a 3-pitch strikeout. Prince remains at 2nd. Now 1 gone for Barfield.
Batting for Sugar Land, field number 29, Jeremy Barfield.
Barfield earlier was having some games where he just wasn't getting a lot of base hits, and you hate to use the S word slump, but I think it's official now. 3 for his last 30. Well, teams have been cautious with him. He's also probably missed a few pitches he might have hit during some harder streaks. Not this time. Barfield swings, lifts one to left. This has got a chance to go. Goodbye into the pool area. A 2-run homer for Barfield. Skeeters doubled up their lead. It's 4-0. It's a way to break out of a 3 for 30.
Just about to slay one swing of the bat. You can take one right out of here and put it into that stump. But man, did he hit that one high in the air.
Number 6 for Jeremy, which is 1 behind Sean Halton for the league lead. Well, it's been a while, though, since he hit one.
Yes, it has.
Here's Travis Scott. He's grounded out to first. He's walked. Needs a hit to extend his hitting streak to double figures. There it is as he singles into left field between Aarons and Halton. So a 10-game hitting streak for Travis, who's now 14 for his last 31.
Skeeter's just a triple short of the cycle here in the 5th.
Third baseman number 11.
Chris Nelson steps in. Both times in, he's sent a little flare over the head of the 2nd baseman Weber. The last time, it's good for an RBI. Pretty good pitch to hit there. Fastball at the belt over the inner half, called a strike to Nelson.
That was Barfield's first home run in 10 games when he hit 2 in Southern Maryland. It was on May 3rd.
That's one of those where this, the final game of a 10-game homestand, you don't want to get skunked in that category. He will not. Wave it a miss. Barfield, or Nelson rather, waved at one that cut off the corner. Skeeters scored 2 in the third. They have plated 2 runs here in the 5th inning. And there's activity going in the Barnstormers bullpen. Pitch is way outside and low to Nelson from Bergeson, who began the game with an ERA of 1.35. Bergeson from the stretch, a long pause. Scott at first not going anywhere. The pitch to Nelson, swung on, fouled back to the net. Blevins has faced the minimum through his 5 innings of work for Sugar Land. So any extra run they tack on might feel like 2. The way he has pitched to this point. Next pitch to Nelson, he waves and misses. Went down in a fastball that was a little bit up and in. A couple of strikeouts this inning. And now it's up to Andy Wilkins. Six strikeouts in the game for Bergeson.
Andy Wilkins.
Pitched for Arizona, also Baltimore in the big league level. Wilkins has walked and flied to center. Wilkins drives one to right field. This ball's going to carry back to the bullpen, and it's going to go and landed on the berm. Second 2-run homer of the inning, and Wilkins has made it a 6-0 Skeeters lead.
His second home run of the inning, and they are really hitting Bergeson hard here in the 5th.
Wilkins has hit all 3 of his homers this year at Constellation Field. That one carried over the bullpen. I thought it had some topspin on it, but it carried over the pen onto the berm area. So a 4-run frame. Here's Benson. First pitch for a strike from Bergeson. Next one on the way to Benson, off his hands. He will softly foul one that'll land near the railing and roll around, and unable to skip into the crowd. So Rodney Galloway, our first base umpire, will flip it to a young fan. Jan Sante's been coaching first today. It's been tough not to have his bat in the lineup for a few days as Benson swings and got a piece of that one at the plate. Came out of the game 1 batter into the contest a couple of days ago, diving for a ball on that warning track in right center. It's on Friday night. 2-strike pitch to Benson, way high. Probably as hottest hitter in the league at the point that he exited the game. Skeeters had a few people step up in his stead today. Wave and a miss by Benson. Strikeout, inning over. But a couple of 2-run homers from Barfield, and Wilkins adds to the Skeeters lead. We played 5 innings. It's now a 6-0 Sugar Land advantage.
Everybody up on your feet and clap your hands. Here comes the unofficial state song in Texas.
Bobby Blevins, the beneficiary of a 4-run bottom of the 5th. Skeeters in front 6-0. As the Barnstormers come to bat here in the 6th. Trey Robinson will lead off, followed by Aarons and Clark, bottom 3 hitters in the lineup. Robinson line to center and is only at bat. Left-hander in there. Blevins reaches into the glove for the baseball. His first pitch is a little bit up and out. Next one from Blevins, lifted to our left. It'll be back and out of play, maybe up on top of the roof towards the parking lot. The count's a ball, then a strike to the Barnstormers right fielder. His team's tied again at 13-10 atop the Freedom Division of the Atlantic League. Skeeters need a win today to split this 4-game set. As Blevins didn't get much break on that one, has slipped and carried outside and missed. Blevins to Robinson, and that pitch drops down and in and misfired. The count is 3-1.
Did Robinson think that was ball 4?
Might have. Blevins misses up and out. That is ball 4. So if a man who's faced the minimum through 5 innings, he puts Robinson on to start the 6th. Kevin Aarons, the shortstop in. He has the lone base hit for the Barnstormers. He singled to center in the 3rd inning with 1 gone.
It's about how much more of a hitter's friendly park that Clipper Magazine Stadium is, where the Barnstormers hit. Aarons is hitting .353 at home, just .250 on the road. You're talking about 103 points higher at home.
Liner to left, hit well. Benson back on the move, won't get there. It's over his head, kicks up off the fence, and then propels further into the gap. Robinson will race to 3rd. He'll be held there with nobody out. On a double from Aarons, he has both hits for the Barnstormers in the game.
Was really carrying out the left today.
Off the bat, I thought Benson might get there, and then the carom didn't even come back to him. It rolled around that oval bend in the fence. Here's Tyler Clark, the number 9 hitter. Skeeters leading 6-0, but the 7 and 8 hitters are in scoring position. Nobody out. Clark is 1 for 18 on the year, but he does have a couple of RBIs. And he takes a strike. Belt high, outer half. That's the pitch that's fluctuated. At times it's been invoked for a strike, other times it hasn't. Outfield and infield straight away, and the infield back. Clark will wave and miss. So Blevins, if he ever was to get a strikeout, he'd love to do it here. He's K'd just 1 in the game. But conceding a run on a ground ball or a fly ball, he'd just as soon find a way to carve out Clark here. Here's the 0-2. A little bit above the belt and high. Clark able to resist and lay off. Clark, a Connecticut native, one of the few not playing for New Britain. They loaded up on the home state products. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a foul off the hands, back to the netting. Now the Skeeters get some activity going in their bullpen. Sum up earlier last inning for the Barnstormers when the Skeeters put 4 on the board in the bottom of the 5th.
It's Andrew Johnston for the Skeeters. It was a little early for him.
Pitch to Clark, little flare, headed out towards right center field, beyond the reach of Prince, and that'll score a run and maybe more. With a wide turnaround, third base is Aarons. The throw comes in from Miller. 3 straight hits or 3 straight base runners producing a run for the Barnstormers here in the 6th inning. 6-1 our score.
65 pitches now for Blevins, and they're going to go see if Blevins is okay. Skeeters pitching coach. No, it's Gary Guidy and the Skeeters trainer coming out to wonder if maybe the thigh started swelling or something like that.
Tighten up. It was the first batter last inning of the 5th inning, Holton, who hit a line drive that caught the thigh of Blevins.
And he got the next 2 batters in that inning, but he has struggled here in the 6th. A walk, a double, a single.
I think they're going to go to the bullpen.
Either that or you can let him throw a few pitches here, one or the other. And they're patting him on the back. I think that's going to be it. See if he's limps at all coming off. Looks okay. We don't know what it's like under those pants.
I'm not even going to touch that.
Hopefully.
In any regard. We'll have a pitching change. First 3 have reached for the Barnstormers here in the 6th. It's now a 6-1 game back after this.
Texas Farm Bureau members get free tickets to Skeeters games on Sundays. Texas Farm Bureau members just show your current membership. TDs here at Ticket Office. Get 2 free tickets to any Sunday home game. Your local agent, young league member. Party at the ballpark. Constellation Field is the perfect place for every get-together. From birthday celebrations to office parties and even family reunions. Groups of 20 or more get special prices. The picnic plaza features an all-you-can-eat buffet. And the party suites in the Xfinity Club are specially designed to host your most important clients and customers. Call 281-240-GIFTS to book your party at the ballpark. Or go to sugarlandskeeters.com. This call to bullpen is brought to you by Texas Direct Auto. Texas Direct, they are the world's largest independent car dealership.
Check out the inventory line.
The Skeeters will go to their bullpen here as Bobby Blevins leaves after he was pitching a masterpiece through 5. Runs into trouble here in the 6th. It'll be Andrew Johnston, AJ, 33 years old, number 22 is 6'5", 210 from High Ridge, Missouri. He's been with the Skeeters for the last few years. Been as high as AAA, a dozen years as a pro now. AJ this year, no record, a 4.90 ERA, his 12th appearance in 11 innings. He has struck out 8. He has walked 2 and allowed 10 hits. Last time out in this series against the Barnstormers in that 11-9 loss last night. He went an inning in the 3rd, allowed a run on 1 hit, no walks and 2 Ks.
Ross Peoples likes to talk, doesn't he? For the entire break, he was out there with plate umpire Ken Leventhal. I have no idea if it was whether or not AJ should have been given an unlimited amount of throws, whether it was injury warranted or not. But
We get you when you spend 10 years in this league, as he did. I guess you tend to think you've learned all the rules and been through them several times each.
I suppose the argument could be made if that was 6 batters ago and another half inning ago. But we know Gary came out with a trainer. That kind of takes away a little bit of that steam, I guess. But regardless, the Barnstormers not only have a run to make it a 6-1 game, they've turned the lineup over. They have runners at the corners. Sanford, the batter, nobody out. Johnston's first pitch swung on and fouled off of Cordero for strike 1.
People spent 2005 through 2014 as a player for the Barnstormers, and he is from right there in that area. Originally from Crisp County. It's in middle Georgia State.
Next pitch from Johnston. Inside. Ball then a strike to the diminutive speedy Sanford. Nelson in a few steps already at third base on the grass. Wilkins holding Clark, the catcher, at first. Johnston's pitch does miss that outside edge. Snap toss down to third, and lunging back in was Aarons. Kind of an important batter after the Skeeters had that 4-run fifth, just to keep this hit train from really getting into full force for the heart of the lineup. 2-1 pitch is down. Now it's 3-1. So Blevins, through 5 innings, had faced the minimum with just 1 hit. 5+ innings and 3 hits in the game. He's departed. Johnston, who sometimes comes on into these situations where he inherits some runners and a bit of traffic, try and get out of them. Ground ball rolled into right, base hit. Scoring is Aarons. Clark to second. He'll stop there. 4 straight base runners and a couple of runs here in the 6th inning.
And still nobody out. Johnson on the mound features a fastball, slider, and a splitter, but really needs a quick out or 2 here. Stop the bleeding.
So Garrett Weber, who's 0 for 2, will step in. The number 2 hitter in the lineup. Began the day with a .321 batting average. Walk, double, single, single. Where did that miss? Looked like a pretty good toss to Weber.
Looked pretty good. Maybe below the knees.
That could be the only explanation. Johnston gets a swing and a foul back to the screen, a little bit in on the hands of Weber. It's a suntan lotion type of day here at the ballpark. You can almost smell it from the sections below us. Next pitch from Johnston, ripped on and missed.
4,458 fans here on Mother's Day.
It's a lot of roses.
A lot of moms. I'm going to say over 2,000 moms.
Skeeters looking for that first out of the inning. The runners go. Pitch lifted to left. Benson turning and running. He's at the track, reaching for the manual scoreboard. Jumping high, and he made the catch! Tagging and hitting to third is Clark.
Oh, no, don't tell me he's hurt. The Skeeters are almost out of players here, especially outfielders.
Benson's waving everybody off, but he had to go up high. In fact, he knocked the hit column out of the Skeeters scoreboard, but that ball started to carry, and in the last minute he had to leap up to make the catch. Clark was running, went all the way back to second base, tagged and advanced to third.
Some catch by Benson.
It looked like once he went up against the wall, it kind of moved a little bit in his glove, and he had to secure it a second time.
I thought he dropped it there for a second.
Looked like he was close to, but he held on. Here's Casey Hobson. Throw to first, a low throw, and diving back in safely Sanford on a pretty close play. So finally an out this inning, and it took a little extra effort and maybe some pain for Benson. Sanford runs, Skeeters pitch out. They're going to throw down. The throw is offline. Sanford in diving. Good throw from Cordero. May have had him. But the runners are at second and third now with only 1 gone.
Almost a risk to throw through there.
Surprised once they did throw through, and that throw is a little bit high that Clark didn't take off from third base. Johnston's next one is up and out. Missing to Hobson, 2-0. Halton, the league's leading RBI guy and home run hitters, on deck. 6-2 our score. That one's not even close. High to Hobson, 3-0. Skeeters led 6-0 coming in. Blevins had faced the minimum, but Barnstormers getting a lot of their frustration out in this frame and not even close to done. Only one out, 3-0 the count to Hobson. Pitch is hit down the first base line. It is a foul ball. Otherwise, that scores a pair. Rodney Galloway, the umpire, was right on top of it.
Did you walk Hobson here, load the base, and go for the righty-righty matchup with the bases loaded and one away, set up the double play?
I almost thought they were kind of doing that until Johnston made a pretty good pitch, 3-0. Hobson swung. Three-one pitch hit foul again, wide of first base, kicking up into the seats.
EJ's battled back to make it 3-2. It just seems like they're playing with fire here.
Clark at third base, Sanford at second. 2 runs home this inning for the Barnstormers in the 6th. Johnston's pitch looped down the right field line. That's fair. It's going to plate a couple of runs, and this game has tightened up even further. Hobson going to second base. He's going to round and hold there as Barfield plays it back in. It's a 6-4 game. Two-run double from Hobson. So the 4 runs the Skeeters scored in the 5th have been answered here in the top of the 6th. Gary Gaetti on his way out to the mound. Johnston has faced 3 batters. Is he going to make another change?
Yeah, Felipe Paulino looks like he's coming in and out of the bullpen right now.
So Johnston is done. We'll step out. Barnstormers still batting. 4 runs home in the 6th. Skeeters lead us 6-4.
Lincam's Felipe Paulino, who has 4 saves on the season, 3rd in the league, but he comes in here in the 6th. The 33-year-old former big leaguer, number 39, 6'3", 270. Originally from Venezuela, now makes his home in Pearland, Texas. 14 years as a pro, comes in 1-1 with a 3.37 ERA on those 4 saves in 11 appearances. 10 2/3, 14 Ks, 8 walks, 6 hits.
6-0 lead is now 6-4. Skeeters ahead. Halton hits a long one here. We got a brand new game. Paulino starts him with a slider and he gets a strike.
4 straight scoreless appearances for Paulino. Last time out, the Game 1 win against the Barnstormers. 5-3. He went 1 inning. Didn't allow a hit or a run. Did not walk about or struck out 1. Faced the minimum 3.
Runner at second is Hobson. Pitch to Halton. Drill to center. Sending Miller back. He turns around shy of the track. Makes a one-handed catch, and that's out number 2.
That's a very big out right now.
Designated hitter number 2, Blake Galen.
Here's Blake Galen, the 8th Barnstormer to bat in the inning. Gade on a lefty. It's fly to right. He's bounced to short. A lot of the fans here, this crowd of 4,400 plus, sitting in the top 3 or 4 rows of every section, trying to grab what shade there is. Pitch from Paulino, up and out for a ball. Six to 4, Skeeters in front. This is the third pitcher of the inning in Paulino. And he works on that outside corner and just does miss. 2-0. Blevins, Johnston, now Paulino. And again, we're only in the 6th. One out this inning was a ball caught up against the fence by Benson in left. Another was a hard line drive to Miller in center. Galen will bounce one towards Prince. He'll scoop it at second base and throws out Galen to end the inning. So 4 runs score in the frame. 4 hits and a man left in scoring position. 5.5 complete. It's a 6-4 Skeeters lead.
Alrighty, Skeeters fans, it's time to get up on your feet, stretch 'em. It is the time for the Go Nuts camp sponsored by D's Nuts. I'm down here in Section 7 with the Reshoot family ready to kick it off. Take it away, guys. Go Nuts. We're looking for you out on the stands. Get up on your feet and go Nuts.
That's the official peanut provider of the Sugar Land Skeeters, D's Nuts.
For Twin Cities Research.
New pitcher on the hill for the Barnstormers is Kaoi Downing. Downing, the 31-year-old. In fact, he just turned 30 May 7th. Will take over here. He is from Hawaii. And Downing, number 11, 5'11", 180, from Honolulu, Hawaii originally, and now resides in San Diego. That's a pretty good life right there, you think? Has pitched for the Sussex County Miners. He has been as high as AAA. Former 50th round draft pick in 2009 by the Giants. Take a look at his numbers this year. Well, Downing this season, 1-0 at 2.79 ERA, 9 2/3, 12 Ks, but also 12 walks. He has allowed 5 hits. Last time out in the 5-3 loss to the Skeeters in Game 1 of this series, pitched well, 1 2/3, no runs, 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 Ks. He has not been scored upon in 5 of his last 6 outings.
Pitching with his Barnstormers trailing by 2, 6-4. Cordero, Miller, and Prince, the scheduled hitters here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Sugar Land Skeeters in 3. Cordero.
Skeeters had 6 runs before the Barnstormers had 2 hits, but Lancaster right back into this game with a 4-run 6th inning in which the Skeeters used 3 different pitchers.
He's a converted hitter. He was a hitter in college at Point Loma Nazarene.
Cordero swings and rolls one right to Weber at second. Didn't really even bounce, just skimmed on the ground. And Cordero retired, 1 pitch, 1 out.
In fact, his first year as a pro in the Northwest League for Salem Kaiser, the Giant system, he hit .312 with a home run and 19 RBIs in 52 games.
Made the conversion. Here's Miller. He's flied to center and also flied out to right. Batting in the 9-hole today, began the game hitting .289. Takes a fastball right down the middle for a strike.
Wonder where the Skeeters will go in their bullpen. They've already used their closer and their setup man. We're only through the 6th. Still got Mark Haynes out there to close it out in the 9th, but you're going to have to get to him. Maybe Richardson, maybe Trey Haley.
Yeah, they've got some work to do, you're right, as Miller waves and misses for strike 2.
Richardson was great the other night. Struck out the side.
Guess Paulino could go back out for another frame. He retired both that he faced.
That's true, and then you get back towards the top of the order again. You got all the lefties coming up. You could bring in Richardson.
Pitch was outside to Derek Miller. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Downing shook off the first sign from his catcher Clark. Next one on the way is a fastball, and it's waved at and missed. Strike 3, and there's 2 gone quickly in the Sugar Land 6th inning. There's Josh Prince.
Now putting forward Sugar Land, second baseman number 7, Josh Prince.
Prince doubled and scored in that 4-run 5th inning. Hit one over the head of Millage in left. Scored a couple of runs. He struck out. He's walked. And Downing misses low and outside. Ferguson went to 5 innings, giving up the 6 Skeeters runs. A couple of 2-run homers last frame. Another one way outside and low to Prince.
We mentioned in the first game how slow the pitchers were for the Barnstormers. The Barnstormers have averaged 3 hour and 16-minute games for the last 6 road games, all 9 innings.
I'd say that's impressive, but in a unique sort of way. Waving a miss by Prince. Now, part of it is their offense.
Yeah, no doubt.
They can score runs, and they can really put some pressure on teams' pitching staffs.
The other part of that is, I don't know, Ross Peoples may be teaching his pitchers to be a little too diligent in their decisions.
They are very deliberate. 2-1 to Prince. He was backing out of the way, but that was down the chute for a called strike. And they play an American League East type of baseball. There's a bender down and out.
So good baseball?
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of high scoring and long games. Count has gone full to Prince. Here's a payoff from Downing. Way outside. In fact, it went off the glove of Clark. It'll go to the screen. So Prince has walked for the 2nd time in the game and for the 10th time this season.
This is where Prince can really start to improve his game, walking more, striking out less, and when he's walking, that's really his game because he's seeing a lot better pitches, which even though he's got a new improved stance and he's going to hit for some more power this year, his walks will allow him to see more pitches and hit more home runs. And it's not going to take a lot for him to move up the standings in walks. He came in with 8 walks. Now he has 10, so he's actually moving up the charts pretty quickly.
Prince is going to run. He got a good pitch. In fact, that one went off the glove of Clark, and Prince will go to second, round, and stop. It's a stolen base.
It's his 6th of the year and 8 attempts.
Pitch missed badly to Zawadzki, so a base hit here would allow the Skeeters to at least get one of those runs back that they gave up in the top of the frame, and the Barnstormers played at 4. 6-4, Sugar Land leading. Zawadzki's lined out, was robbed of a hit. Double to right center, driving in a run. struck out back in the 5th. Big vicious swing, so much so that he fell down, falling out of the box. The catcher Clark kind of rolled over.
So all the Skeeters need is another injury.
What in the world happened there?
Oh, now maybe Zawadzki twisted his ankle a little bit. I think the ball off of Clark, I want to say maybe his thigh, just above the shin guards. Nope, he got his hand actually.
It's like the magic bullet. Everybody went down.
That's one magic bullet.
Lance will take some swings where he brings himself down to his front knee. That time, it was this if he fell towards the on-deck circle. So Prince at second, 2 outs. Downing on a relief this inning. Comes set under his chin. Here's a pitch to Zawadzki. That's high, way high, 2-1. Two-out walk by Prince and a stolen base has put him in a scoring position. Barfield, who homered in his last at bat, is on deck. Here's a pitch to Zawadzki. He golfs one to right. Hit. Wow, this ball's going to carry over the head of Robinson and go towards the chain link fence in the bullpen. Prince will score and another RBI double from Zawadzki. Skeeters lead 7-4.
That is our Texas Farm Bureau Insurance run of the game. Texas Farm Bureau members get free tickets to Skeeter games on Sunday. Just show your proof of your current membership at the ticket office, and you can get 2 free tickets to any Sunday home game. Visit your local agent to become a member today.
Couple of doubles, couple of RBIs for Zawadzki. There's Barfield, who hit home run number 6 to left field just an inning ago. Skeeters leading 7-4. Barfield up to 13 RBIs. Late breaking curve drops in for a strike, and Jeremy had a pained expression as he turned towards Ken Leventhal. Thought that one broke a little bit late to be a strike. Jeremy was 3 for 30 before that home run in his last at bat. And Downing taking so much time, Barfield call time, stepped down. Downing's next one, a cut and a miss and a big rip. Barfield fell across to the other side and goes for a long stroll around behind the plate umpire.
His last home run was majestic. One of those ones you just watch go. Just straight up in the end, straight down into the Wells Fargo Picnic Plaza. Just a little shy of the pool for a splashdown. Unless you saw water, of course.
It's hard to get a splashdown unless it's a ricochet or a bounce. Fastball's low to Barfield. That awning does a pretty good job of covering up the pool. On the Diamondback telecast with their pool at Chase Field, they actually have a camera underneath the water, so when the ball goes in, you get the shot of the ball.
Oh, that's very cool.
Going to the bottom.
Cool pool shot.
1-2 to Jeremy. Low and inside, 2-2. This inning started harmlessly enough. A bounce out, a strikeout, but then Prince walked, swiped second base. Zawadzki doubled over the head of Robinson and right to plate Prince. Count was nothing into the Barfield. It's now 2-2. Very little wind here today. Pitch to Jeremy, popped up. It'll be back, another play to our right. And the count holds to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
20 pitches here for Downing. 11 for strikes, 9 for balls.
Lefty's been throwing off and on for the Barnstormers in their bullpen. Scott's on deck, 2 of the next 3 hitters, lefties. Clark sets up over the inner half. Downing's 2-2 pitch. Ground ball shot towards short. Scooped by Aarons. His throw to first in time to get Barfield. Ends the inning. Skeeters get a run back. On a hit, they leave a man. We played 6 innings. It's a 7-4 Sugar Land lead.
Fans, it is now time for the stolen base race brought to you by Texas Mattress Makers. Jessica's down on the right field line with this afternoon's little thief. Jessica, who do you have with you?
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Bailey. He's ready to take on the stolen base race brought to you by Texas Mattress Makers. All right, Bailey, you see that base all the way out there in right field? You've got 30 seconds to go down, steal it, and bring it back to me. Ready? All right, put that countdown on the clock for me, please. 3, 2, 1, go! All right, fans, it's pretty far out there tonight. Let's make some noise. Cheer 'em on. I know you can do better than that. Get loud for him. All right, he's got the base. Come on back, Bailey. You got about 15 seconds to do it. About 10 seconds. You got it. All righty, and he has done it with some time to spare. Congratulations, Bailey. You are the winner of the stolen base race brought to you by Texas Mattress Makers. Back to you, Shane.
Texas Mattress Makers, make sure fans you check out the Memorial Day sale. That includes 25% off all showroom products. Get all the details on the web at TexasMattressMakers.com.
We go to the 7th inning. Skeeters leading the Barnstormers 7-4. Once again, here's Ira.
Well, thanks, Brett. Felipe Paulino will begin his first full inning of work. Great job last inning. Put out the fire with a runner on second. Got the last 2 outs. He will pitch to 6, 7, and 8 here. Last thing's Millage, Trayvon Robinson, and Kevin Aarons. Millage grounded out to third his first time up. A great play by Chris Nelson at third base, and then flat to left his last time up. He is 0 for 2. Vincent Millage, a former first-round pick, 12th overall by the Mets in 2003. They're going to set up away on the first pitch here to Millage. And this one is a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count. Debuted for the Mets in 2006, was the youngest player in the National League at 21 years old. Played 6 seasons in the big leagues. The Mets in 2006 and 2007. The Nationals in 2008 and 2009. As this one is foul. Nice catch by the Barnstormers third base coach. A stumbling barehanded grab. Don't see that very often.
He was in do or die territory. If he didn't get it, he was going down.
Millage also played for the Pirates in 2009 and 2010, and then the White Sox in 2011. The 0-2 coming here from Paulino. They set up low and away, and this one is swung and chopped up the middle, and that one's going to get into left center field for a base hit. So Millage on here, the first batter of the 7th, reaches 1 on, none out for Trayvon Robinson. Robinson, the switch hitter, lined out to center his first time up. He also walked and scored. Skeeters are leading 7-4 here in the 7th. Paulino, a long look at first. See if Millage thinks about going here. He's got a decent lead. This one is chopped to the right side. Scott goes to second for 1. Double clutch the relay to first in time to Paulino. What a play. That'll go down as a 3-6-1 DP. And just like that, they're 2 down. Nicely turned by the Skeeters defense.
Boy, indeed, and Wilkins had his momentum carrying him towards first. It was going to be an easy out at second base. The only question, with as quick as that was going to be turned, could Paulino get there? And he did. He was there waiting at first base to take that return throw.
So 2 down, none on now for Kevin Aarons. Another number 1 pick. Aarons so far today, 2 for 2 with a single and a double. They set up outside on the first pitch here to Aarons. Paulino's pitch off speed low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Skeeters 7 runs on 8 hits. Barnstormers 4 runs on 6. No errors for either side. The 1-0 from Paulino. This one in the dirt, 2-0. Looks like he may have slipped as he threw. Wind has stopped in right center. Flag's limp. They set up away, and the 2-0. Swung on, popped up. Right field. Barfield coming in. Waiting for it, and he'll bring it down for the final out. 1-2-3, unconventional seventh inning stretch time. Get your peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I do care if you never come back. Skeeters leading 7-4 in this one.
Time below, take me out to the ball game. And to lead us in that classic rendition comes the voice of the Skeeters, Mr. Ira Lehman. Ira, it is all you, brother.
All right, thanks, Shane. All right, Skeeter fans, you ready for the 7th inning stretch? All right, this one's for all the moms in the house. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Say, we out to the ball game. Say, we out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back to Georgia. Remember for the Skeeters. It's a shame. Stay with me for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out at the old ball game. Let's go, Skeeters. Happy Mother's Day.
Now pitching for the Barnstormers, number 22, John Anderson. Belleville Meat Market, your wild meat processing headquarters. Belleville Meat Market. Get your meat. Play. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now leading off for your Sugarland Skeeters, designated hitter number 16, Travis Scott.
fans, you know this summer coming around, it's time to start your summer activities for your kids.
We move to the top of the 8th inning. Felipe Paulino will pitch into a 3rd inning. He came on with 1 out in the 6th. Pitched the 7th. An unconventional 1-2-3 7th with a single double play and a flyout. Now pitching here in the 8th. He will pitch to 9 1 and 2. Tyler Clark, Darian Sanford, and Garrett Weber. Clark is hit into a fielder's choice, singled, scored, and driven in a run. First pitch here. This one in the dirt, 1-0. What was Clark Griswold's wife's name in Vacation?
Ellen?
Ellen, that's right. One the count here to Clark. This one is hit high and deep in the air to right center. Derek Miller, long run. He's got room though, and he'll bring it down in right center field, just shy of the warning track for out number 1. Skeeters up 7 of 4. Now need 5 defensive outs. Back to the top of the order, and this one it gets troublesome. Darian Sanford need to keep him off the base pass. Then you have the righty Weber, then 2 of the next 3 lefties. Sanford, the switch hitter, batting here from the left side. He's 1 for 3. He has flat out to left twice, singled, scored, driven in a run, and stolen a base. I'm telling you, keep him off the base paths. Leave him just on 1 time, and this is the key to beating this Barnstormers team. Chris Nelson and Wilkins at first, and 3rd are in at the corners. Short and 2nd in, and so is the outfield. A completely different defense just for 1 guy with nobody on. I mean, he's fast enough that you're deep at 2nd, and it's right to you. He can beat it out. Big swing and a miss here as Paulino blows the fastball by him. And quickly no balls and 2 strikes here on Sanford, but he was very good at working a count. Is he wearing pink shoelaces here for Mother's Day? That's a nice tribute to moms.
Almost
Probably to his mom.
orange. He's got all kinds of colors going.
Nelson hops up and down at 3rd, wants to stay loose. This one inside as Sanford spins out of the way of that one, 1-2.
Paulino's like 3 of Sanford.
That's true. He is 275 out there, Paulino. And little Sanford, let's see, what does he weigh in at? 170.
Yeah, wrong.
100 pounds.
Not even close to 170.
Yeah, I agree with you there. This one, foul back into the screen in front of him. What are you guessing here?
130?
No, he can't be that light. Maybe he's bulked up.
Where?
Well, a baggy uniform. Maybe he's a lot bigger under there than he looks. What does Greg Lucas said yesterday? Muscle is heavier than fat. I said, Lucas, that works for you.
I think fat's heavier than muscle.
The 1-2. This one skied to left center. Derek Miller's right there. He will yield, however, to Benson in left and bring it down in left center for out number 2. So nice job here by Paulino. He has faced the minimum despite allowing the hit to lead off the 7th. He has faced 7 batters. Number 8 here is Garrett Weber, the right-hander hitting second baseman. He is 0 for 3. He has grounded to second, flat out to center and left his last 2 times up.
Yeah, at risk of jinxing it, I would think the times I've seen Paulino pitch, this has probably been his best. And ironically, it's come without strikeouts, which is kind of one of his signatures.
This one is hit up the middle for a base hit. You were saying something about a jinx?
Should have just waited, but I thought that might be nearing the end of his day. But then again, now with the lefty, we'll see if Gary is going to leave him in or not.
Gary on the top step. Here he comes. And it looks like he's going to make his move here. Should see Dustin Richardson would be my guess, with Hobson a lefty, then the right-hander Halton, and then another lefty in Galen. And he asked for the lefty. Oh, Paulino, what a great job he did. Retired the first 7 he faced, not in order. That was a hit here. 2 outs. Skeeters need just 4 outs defensively for a win. They're up 7-4. We'll take a break, and we'll tell you about the new Skeeters pitcher when we return here in a moment.
Thanks to Dr. Larry Caldwell.
Parents, hopefully you have gone and got your child signed up at the Catcher on the Bases table. Got that waiver signed right after the game. We're going to get them on the field for post-game Catcher on the Bases. Of course, again, brought to you by Dr. Larry Caldwell, specializing in dentistry for children and those with special needs. Located in Sugarland, Dr. Larry Caldwell's goal is to make every child's dental experience positive and rewarding.
Left-hander Dustin Richardson is summoned from the bullpen with a runner on, 2 outs in the 8th inning. Richardson making his 11th appearance. No record. He does have a save and a 0.93 earned run average. That's 3 hits and a run in 9 2/3 innings with 16 strikeouts.
Well, Richardson has been phenomenal out of the bullpen, as Brett says. I assure you, he has not allowed a run in his last 9 appearances. Last time out was last night in the Skeeters' 11-9 loss to the Barnstormers. 1 inning, a perfect one, struck out the side in order. In fact, he has struck out 5 in his last 2 outings. Those are just 1 inning relief appearances apiece. Well, he needs to get Hops in here because the meat of the order would be up in the 9th anyway. I wonder if Richardson will be left in here for a 4-out save, or maybe he goes to Haynes in the 9th. First pitch misses, ball 1-1-0 to Hobson. Hobson has grounded out to second, fouled out to third, doubled, and drove in 2 last time up. He is 1-for-3. The southpaw, long look at first at Weber, but comes home. Swung on and popped up right side. Will Wilkins have room in front of his own dugout? That one's going to make the seats. First row right behind the Skeeters dugout. Pops back onto the field, and Cordero will reach it. Speaking of Albert Cordero, what is your middle name?
Mine?
Yeah.
Martin?
Oh. See, if it was Albert or Allen, initials would be bad.
I like that.
Brett Allen Dolan. That'd be nice.
That's
Maybe we should
missed
change that.
opportunity,
Yeah,
yeah.
no kidding.
Or something like Ulysses, I'd be Bud.
Well, there you go. Hey, bud. Hey, thanks. Make a good license plate. Swing and a miss here. No ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Richardson features a fastball and a slider, both excellent. Former big leaguer, spent part of 2 years with the Red Sox. Lefty-lefty matchup here for him. The 1-2. Swung in, hit to the left side. Nelson, tough play near third. Surrounds it, fires it to first just in time. Great play by the Skeeters' third baseman, and that will do it. So Richardson gets a key out there, and the Skeeters get out of it. Middle of the 8th, they're still up by 3, 7-4 over the Barnstormers.
Lancaster's Public House, along with an Irish Heart, Texas Soul, featuring the best of burgers, Irish beer, pub fare, and more. Over 80 craft beers in a full bar. Make sure you bring your ticket stub in for a $1 domestic draft. Grab a half-price appetizer after the game. It's $4 per person. Visit the official after party of the Sugarland Skeeters. Lancaster's Public House. Also visit on web. LancasterPubHouse.com.
Barnstormers go to their bullpen here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Right-hander Cody Hall on for his 11th appearance. He's 1-2 with a 6.75 earned run average, 7 earned runs in 9 1/3 innings of work.
Now Hall will take over here. Cody Hall, number 34, 6'4", 235. The right-hander from Savannah, Georgia, originally now lives in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. In the big leagues with Miami last year. We'll face the bottom of the Skeeters order here, 7, 8, and 9. Joe Benson, Albert Cordero, and Derek Miller, with the Skeeters leading by 3, 7-4.
And leading off for your Sugar Land Skeeters.
Oh, in steps Joe Benson.
Joe Benson.
All a former 19th round pick in 2011 by the Gents. 29-year-old at the Southern University of Baton Rouge Community College. Last year spent time in Miami at AAA at New Orleans. As he squares to bunt here, Benson pulls it back for a ball, 1-0. Then got to the big leagues with the Marlins, and then also pitched at AAA in Reno for the D-backs organization. Minor league career record 13-11, a 2.88 ERA and 50 saves. 2012, he had a career high 20 saves for Augusta in the Sally League. You ever been to that ballpark? I hear it's very nice.
I have not. I missed out on that one. My tour across the South the last couple of years on the youth baseball circuit, I've tried to stop and catch a few. I've caught one at Pensacola, their beautiful ballpark on the bay. Mobile, the
Bay Bears?
Yes, and then, what am I forgetting? Montgomery Biscuits.
How's that ballpark?
Beautiful.
Really? They had the best-selling cap for a couple years running with that biscuit as their mascot. 2 balls and 1 strike, and as their logo. Benson has struck out twice and fouled out. He's 0 for 3. Came in batting .221, no home runs and 6 RBIs. The 2-1 here from the right-hander Hall. This one low and away, to say the least. Clark lunged at it, goes to the screen. 3-1 the count. Hall was drafted twice. Mentioned by the Giants, but he also was drafted earlier in 2010 by the Tigers in the 35th round. Righty-righty matchup here. They set up low and away. The 3-1 to Benson. Check, swing, strike on the inside corner. 3-2.
Benson said on the pitch or the swing? He said the pitch. He goes, really?
I mean, he certainly didn't swing.
The reason he didn't swing is he thought it was ball 4.
Yeah, no kidding. All kind of rocks on that mound before firing. Payout pitch to Benson, swung and fouled off to the right side. We'll do the 3-2 again here. Albert Cordero on deck. Bottom of the Skeeters order is 0 for 9. All's ready. If they go back inside, nope, they're going to go outside here. And the 3-2. Swung and again fouled off. Good at bat here by Benson. You will see an 8th pitch. 7 runs on 8 hits for the Skeeters, 4 runs on 7 for the Barnstormers. Neither team has made a miscue today. Flawless baseball, you gotta love it.
Usually Sundays the wacko meters are on tilt.
Yeah, because it's usually a getaway day and it's an afternoon game.
Sun's in the way.
Yep. Day, night turnaround. So on a hit down the right field line, that's a fair ball. It'll be off the tarp. It'll rattle around in the corner. Benson, who leads the league in triples, will stop at second with a double. And the Skeeters with a chance for some more insurance here, as Albert Cordero will come to the plate and bat from the left side. So all Albert will have to do is drag it to the right side.
Good at bat by Benson. He saw several pitches, finally got one up and out, slapped it fair down the right field side.
Benson's second double. He has 2 doubles and 2 triples. Cordero 0 for 3. He has grounded out twice, sandwiched between a strikeout. Came in batting .375 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Cordero was on the Skeeters championship squad last year. Hall looks at second at Benson. Benson could swipe third if they don't pay attention. This one is drilled to right field and deep. Robinson going back, and this one's going to be off the base of the wall. Benson had a hold up. It's going to be a double for Cordero. Benson scores, and the Skeeters take an 8-4 lead. Another Texas Farm Bureau insurance run here for the Skeeters.
Boy, Benson didn't read that right. I think everybody knew that was over the head of Robinson and hit the fence. He was still standing on second, but was able to cruise around and score.
So Cordero's 4th RBI of the season, and that'll bring in Derek Miller. And that's the first 2 hits from the bottom part of the order. Let's see if Miller can keep up this double trend here. He's 0 for 3. He lined sharply to center. He flew out to right and struck out last time up. Miller came in 289 with a home run and 10 RBIs. Derek really has a great eye for the strike zone. A good on-base percentage. Currently .414 is on-base percentage. First pitch here is low. Ball 1 ball and no strikes to count. Now, if you take Cordero out of the mix, because he has not played in only his 9th game, he's got the highest on-base percentage on the team. The 1-0 here from Hall. This one swung and foul tipped into the mitt of Clark. 1 ball and 1 strike to count.
What do we have to do to get him some pants that fit? I mean, didn't he know anybody around here that might be able to get him a pair of pants?
You know, it's the baggy look these days. We'll get our clubhouse manager, Ryan Biddle, on it. Biddle even sews. How many club managers these days
you
actually
have to be able to sew. That's part of your tool package.
This one is clubbed to deep left field, and this one's gone! A 2-run home run by Derek Miller, and it is a 10-4 Skeeters lead. Miller's 2nd home run of the season, RBIs number 11 and 12, and the Skeeters breaking it open here in the 8th. Well, the bottom of the order, who was 0 for 9 coming into this inning, now 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a home run. Who would have thunk it? Still nobody out as we go back to the top of the order with Josh Prince. Tough outing for Hall. Prince has been on base 3 times tonight. He has walked twice, doubled, scored 3 runs, and stolen a base. This one a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Prince came in 257, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs. The 0-1 here from the right-hander. Big swing and a miss. Blows the fastball past Prince. No balls and 2 strikes here on the Skeeters leadoff man. Skeeters 3 in here in the bottom of the 8th. They have taken a 10-4 lead. They got 2 in the 3rd, 4 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and a trio of runs here in the 8th. The 0-2. Fastball just off the outside corner. Good pitch by Hall. A few inches outside to Prince. 1-2 the count. Mentioned that Hall played in New Orleans for the Zephyrs. Prince, of course, from Louisiana. The 1-2. This one high and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
New Orleans now the Baby Cakes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Man, teams are changing names too much. Baby Cakes. So where they came up with that one? Sounds like an expression. Oh, Baby Cakes. The 2-2. This one swung and fouled off to the right side.
What do you think of the Rumble Ponies for Binghamton?
Rumble Ponies? I think I like Baby Cakes better.
Do you like Baby Cakes?
2 balls and 2 strikes to count. They set up inside this time on Prince. All fires at home. And this one swung and missed. Prince chased the ball way high and outside as the first out here for Hall.
Shortstop number 14. Zaleski.
As the 10th time tonight the Skeeters have struck out, but they have 10 runs. They talk about strikeouts and how bad they are, and obviously they are, but as long as you can even them out. 11 hits now for the Skeeters, and if you're a guy who strikes out a lot, if you walk once per strikeout, it's not as bad. Prince tonight, a little bit of everything. He has walked twice, struck out twice, and doubled. This one swung and a miss. Speaking of doubles, Zawadzki, 2 RBI doubles today.
Yeah, Prince would have homered instead of doubling in that sequence. He would have just epitomized today's baseball, right? All the outcomes are either walk, strikeout, or home run.
Guys like Curtis Granderson, who hit 40 home runs and strike out 170 times and leads off.
It's almost as if you don't need fielders.
True. This one is swung and chopped foul. Down the right side, almost another double for Zawadzki. Sancho Page used to bring in the outfield. Remember when he was going to strike a guy out? That's gutsy. And one time, supposedly, he brought the infield and outfield out, meaning just one out with 2 down. And a battle between him and Josh Gibson. The 0-2. Swung and fouled straight back. That's why I love reading those books. I mean, there's no film to watch. The only thing you can go by is eyewitnesses and stories. And
stories may be embellished just a little bit, but by the way, Adam Jones was in Kansas City yesterday, went to the Negro League Hall of Fame, and left there having donated $25,000 for any area youth that wants to go attend the museum for free on him.
That's awesome. He's a great guy, Jones. I really started to getting to like him as a player just by watching him in the World Baseball Classic. This one swung and a miss, strike 3. Zawadzki strikes out. And he really went to play on the World Baseball Classic the last 2 times. Comes from a very military family and thought it was important to play for his country. And catch he made in center was one of the best clutch catches I've seen late in a ball game.
Against his teammate, and at least in the regular season.
That's right.
Machado.
And he was just really, truly the leader of that Team USA team. In steps Barfield. Barfield had a mammoth home run a few at-bats ago. He is 1 for 4 with that 2-run dinger, his 6th of the year. Skeeters have now struck out 11 times and have 11 hits. This one low and away, 1 ball and no strikes here on Barfield. Barfield also with 13 RBIs now. They set up low and away. The 1-0 here from the right-hander Hall. He'll fire it home, and this one is swung on and fouled back again. 1 ball and 1 strike here on Barfield. Skeeters with 3 in here in the 8th have a 10-4 lead. They'll have a terrific opportunity to end this homestand at 7-3. Here in the 8th, Albert Cordero with a double after Benson led off with a double, and then Miller capped it off with a 2-run homer.
If Richardson would come back out and finish the inning in the 9th, the game, he'd get a save.
That's true, isn't it? The 1-1 here to Barfield. Swung and missed. Bottom fell out of that one, 1-2. Ten runs on 11 hits for the Skeeters, 4 runs on 7 for the Barnstormers. Skeeters also trying to split this 4-game set with Lancaster. Skeeters 2-4 against the Barnstormers this year. It looks like it's going to be a battle of these 2 teams for the Freedom Division first half title. Still early. The 1-2 misses outside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Skeeters have not yet played York, so really haven't seen what they're all about, although right now they're trailing by 4.5 games. Played Southern Maryland, trail by a game and a half, and certainly were beatable. The 2-2, they set up away here on Barfield. This one swung and missed. A ball low and away, way out in front of it. So The first 3 batters reach 2 doubles and a home run, and then Hall settles down and strikes out the next 3 in a row. But the Skeeters get 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base through 8. The Skeeters are 3 defensive outs away from a win. They're up 8-4 here over Lancaster.
We go to the 9th. The Skeeters up 10-4, and they bring on a new pitcher.
The newest member of the Skeeters, it's Travis Ballou, number 18, 6 foot 160. Currently resides in Dallas here in Texas. Last pitch for Jupiter. He's been as high as AAA, 6 years as a pro, and a former Astros product. Was drafted by the Astros in the 23rd round in 2012 out of Texas State. Has a career 21-19 record, 34 career saves. Pretty hard thrower, 271 Ks and 266 career innings against 125 walks, so also a 2-to-1 strike-to-walk ratio, a little better than 2-to-1. Well, he needs 3 outs for the win. He will face the media of the order, Sean Halton, Blake Galen, and last thing's Millich. The 1-0 from Ballou. This one is high and tight, 2 balls and no strikes.
So Texas State product, Dom Ramos.
Yes,
school,
indeed.
And of course, Goldie, Paul Goldschmidt.
That's right. This one is fouled back. Mentioned he was with Jupiter in the Florida State League. Any idea if the Jupiter team is called?
I think in recent years they changed it to the Hammerheads.
That is correct, sir. He was 0-1 with a 3.86 ERA in 10 appearances. This one is grounded slowly towards Zawatsky. Double clutches, fires it to first, and just gets the speedy Holton on a 6-3 putout, and the Skeeters are 2 outs away.
It's been a lot of games in Jupiter, a lot of complaining to and from.
You complain? Like yelling at umpires? That
No,
kind
it's
of
like 3 hours on the Florida Turnpike and then 3.5 hours back.
Never struck me as the complaining type.
Oh, yeah.
Olin Sepsti, left-handed hitting Blake Galen. Ballou has also pitched some winter ball, Puerto Rican Winter League. So on a strike, 0-1 the count. Skeeters leading 10-4 here in the 9th. They need 2 more outs for a win. Fastball misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Grew up in Rockwall, Texas. This one just misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. So far it looks like he has pretty good stuff. The right-hander steps up, wants some new signs, and granted, this is the first time he's working with Cordero. And there's a strike on the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Blue gets the sign. Let's see where they set up. They're going to set up inside. A 2-2 here to Galen. This one low and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Blue, his final season at Texas State was really primarily a starter. 16 games, 15 starts, was 11-4 with a 2.73 ERA. Struck out 119 and 102 and a third. Walking just 29. I'll get you drafted. This one low and in, ball 4. Just a second free pass of the night for Skeeters pitching. First here for Blue. Blue dons the Skeeters blue, so maybe fits right in here. He actually pitched for Lancaster, the other Lancaster, the Jethawks in the Cal League in 2013. Spent some time in his home state, pitching for Corpus Christi in 2014 and 2015 while in the Astro system. And moved on to the Marlins organization. In steps the right-handed hitting left fielder, former big leaguer Lastings Millage. Lastings last time up singled. He's also grounded out and flied out. So on right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 the count. So far he's impressive. What do you think of him? First glance at him.
Right now he's fighting it a little bit as far as that control, only because these guys come here, you don't know how long it has been since they've last appeared in game action.
Yep, I think he had a little bit of a layoff. This one gets away, and there's some of that control.
Yeah, that was a 54-footer.
A wild pitch will send Galen down to second. It was in Major League Spring Training Camp with the Astros last year. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Skeeters leading 10-4 here in the 9th. Just need 2 more outs. Big swing and a miss. Nice pitch there by Ballou. Took something off that one, 1-2. Now there's 2 Travises on this team, Ballou and Travis Scott. The 1-2 by Ballou. Swung on a miss, strike 3. There's that good fastball. That's the first strikeout for Ballou in his Skeeters uniform. And the Skeeters are 1 out away. So in steps Trayvon Robinson, the only thing standing between Ballou, the Skeeters, and a victory. Robinson, the switch hitter, will bat here from the left side against the right-hander. He has lined out sharply to center. He has walked and scored and hit into a double play. That was a niftily turned double play. Andy Wilkins started it. The first baseman threw it to Zawadzki and short, and then back to the pitcher Felipe Paulino. First pitch misses here. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Skeeters with a 10-4 lead, and they're 1 out away. This one down low, 2 balls and no strikes. Ballou, a long look in here at Cordero. This one big, swing and a miss. Another good fastball there by Ballou. Ballou it by him. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Travis is ready. The 2-1 pitch. That's one low and in, 3-1. Should Robinson reach, Kevin Aarons would step in, and it'll be a Texas battle, a Houstonian versus somebody from Dallas. What are people from Dallas called? They're not. See, it's a slumber, isn't it?
North Texans?
They're not Dallasians. This one grounded to first. This should do it. Wilkins spears it to his left. He'll step on the bag, and that's the game as the Skeeters win 10-4. They split this 4-game set. 10 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Skeeters. 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Barnstormers. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll preview the Game 1 matchup in Somerset. We'll give you our player of the game, final numbers, highlights, and more when we return on the Skeeters post-game show in a moment.
Chris Nelson.
Tomorrow, he's going to be known as Coach Nelson, as he's going to be the hitting coach for the Omaha Storm Chasers, AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Chris Nelson. All right, we are not done with today's activities. All the young Skeeter fans are making their way over there by Section 2 for a part of Dr. Larry Caldwell's postgame Kids Run the Bases. We're going to get them youngsters on the bases and get them running in just a hot second. And then when we're done, ladies, it is your turn. You guys are going to be a part of the Elegant Jewelers Diamond Dig. Ladies, if you've signed up, signed the waiver, you got your spoon, please make your way over to the left center field area at this time by the carousel. We're going to get you on the field in just a few minutes for the Diamond Dig. Once again, for all the kids, for Dr. Larry Caldwell's postgame Kids Run the Bases, make your way on over to Section 2. We'll bring you on the field in just a moment. Ladies, you guys are going to make your way over to the left center field area, right by the carousel above the Jericho Foundation Repairs Corporation sign. We're going to get you on the field for the Diamond Dig in just a few minutes.
Oh, the Hitmen were at it today. The Skeeters, 11 hits in a 10-4 victory. Welcome to the Skeeters post-game show. An excited Ira Lieben. Skeeters 10 runs, 11 hits, no errors, and the Barnstormers 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. The winning pitcher is Bobby Blevins. He improves to 2-0. A great outing for Blevins. He left with some kind of injury. Let's hope he is okay for his next start. Brad Bergeson drops to 2-1. Time of the game, 2 hours and 48 minutes in front of 4,458 fans here at Constellation Field on Mother's Day. Well, let's tell you how this one happened. It started off with a pair of runs in the third for the Skeeters. It was Josh Prince who led off with a walk, and then up came Lance Sawatsky. Now, 3 batters later, it was Chris Nelson's turn. He already had a hit in his first at bat, and he would get another hit here in the third. Well, nobody scored in the fourth, but the Skeeters will get 4 in the fifth. And it started off with a Josh Prince double. After Lance Sawatsky struck out, up came Jeremy Barfield. He hadn't hit a home run in 10 straight games until now. Brett Dolan on the call. Dolan would call another home run 3 batters later after Travis Scott would single after Barfield. Chris Nelson would strike out, and Andy Wilkins would get on the action himself. The Skeeters are up 6-0, but the Barnstormers came back with 4 of their own in the top of the 6th inning. It started with a Trayvon Robinson walk, then Kevin Aarons doubled, up came catcher, the switch-hitting Tyler Clark. So it was 6-1 at that point. The next batter, Andrew Johnson, would come in to face to try to minimize the damage. But Darian Sanford, always a speedster, would do something with his hands this time. Oh, a 6-2 lead. It would get a lot closer after Garrett Weber flew out. Casey Hobson. Casey at the bat would handle himself well. So suddenly it was close. The Skeeters would get some insurance, though, in the bottom of that inning. It was in the 6th. After 2 were down, Josh Pinch drew a walk. He stole second. Lance Sawatsky, another chance. He already had a double tonight. He would get another one here. The Skeeters would widen their margin 2 innings later. Cody Hall came in relief to start the 8th, and it would not be a good start for him. Joe Benson doubled. Up came Albert Cordero, who would double his pleasure. The Skeeters up 8-4. The next batter, the third straight with a hit, Derek Miller, would put an exclamation point on this one as he came to bat in the 8th. That would hold up to be your final. Guy who had a big part in the action. 2 hits on the night. Chris Nelson, the Skeeters' third baseman, and he's standing by with our own Andy Humphrey. Andy.
Thanks, Ira. I'm here with Chris Nelson, our player of the game, had multi-hits. He drove in a run, and you guys put up quite a few runs in this one. Lancaster with such a great offense that they had, and seeing over the last few games, what was the lineup's game plan for you guys to try and get out in front of them early?
It's just they're a tough team, very tough team. So we just had to score runs early and often, and we just gotta, one of them things, we just gotta kick them while they're down because it's a tough team.
Obviously, you heard it over the loudspeakers right after the game. You're going to become a coach with the AAA affiliate in Kansas City and the Omaha Storm Chasers. How do you feel about this opportunity that you're going to be having in front of you?
Oh, I'm pumped about it. I'm real excited for the opportunity, and I can't wait to get there.
Yeah, how about the transition from being a player to a coach? What do you think that will be like for you?
I think it should be a pretty smooth transition. I mean, I'm still in the game that I love, and you can't be mad at that, really.
Thanks very much for your time, Chris.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Chris Nelson, our player of the game, and he's going to be a coach with the Omaha Storm Chasers. As the Skeeters win this one 10-4, let's send it back up to Brett and Ira.
Thanks a lot, Andy. So we just witnessed the last game of his professional playing career, Chris Nelson. So the Skeeters, who already lost Jan Santi on their offense, now lose Chris Nelson, Brett.
Yeah, he'd been fantastic at third base. And, it's just more about a transition getting into coaching than it is his playing career or skills diminishing, because he was playing well for this team. A couple of more hits today, but it's a new chapter in his career.
Well, the Skeeters will head to Somerset after a day off tomorrow. They will play 4 games in 3 days, including a double header, a day-night double dip on Tuesday. On Wednesday. On Tuesday, the Skeeters will send out right-hander Jake Hale, who is 3-0 with a 2.70 ERA, against a player to be determined on the mound for the Somerset Patriots. With the win, the Skeeters are now 14-10. They have sole possession of first place, 1-game lead over the Barnstormers, who are now 13-11. Skeeters off, as I mentioned, tomorrow. Somerset, it will be a 6:05 start here on the Central Time Zone, and 7:05 on the East Coast. Of course, we will be on the air 7 o'clock on the East Coast, 6 o'clock here. Well, that's going to do it for us here. A special thank you to Nathan Werner, who ran the show today. Nice job, Nathan. Take a bow as always. From our broadcast partners, Andy Humphrey and Brett Dolan, This is Ira Leben saying so long from Sugarland, where the Skeeters defeat the Barnstormers tonight 10-4, split the 4-game set, and have a great homestand finishing 7-3. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you at Somerset on Tuesday night.